then it wouldn't have the name.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. I apologize.
Because we can't tell if it's runnable until after he asks us if we want to nickname it anyways. But yeah, as I was saying, like you can, by the way, this is forced encounter. If you check your stats in battle at level 5, you might be able to figure out if some of your stats are runnable or unrunnable, but we don't fully know till level 6 anyways.
I don't bother doing it because I don't think it's worth the time, and I think I'm like the only person who thinks that.
Yeah, because somebody like me is like, oh, I'll just take the 2 extra seconds, because if you're saving 3 minutes on resetting, you might see more kips.
Yeah, the whole reason why May's not like just save scumming to get a starter is because of this whole gap between your level up, because she could save and quit and see a decent runnable one at level 5, and then when she finally gets to Brendan and levels up, then it's just not runnable, and then you have to go all the way back 3 minutes.
But the attack is looking promising. If you have 13 attack at level 5, which guarantees you 14 at level 6, you can 2-shot that first Poochyena with 2 tackles, which she did. But that's not to say what any of the other stats are. Like, she could have minus speed, she could have minus defense. Like, it could be a range of bad natures, or it could be a really good nature, which the best nature possible is really anything with minus special defense. Because we just don't get hit with special attacking moves like at all in this run. So yeah, we'll leverage the minus special defense for a plus nature and anything else, but naughty nature would actually be by far the best. Plus attack minus special defense. So that's what we're hoping for.
That's what my backup has. This attack looks... That was either a really high roll or this attack is insane.
That's a high roll for sure.
Yeah.
I think one thing, well, May looks at these stats. We're not really looking for like an amazing kip. We're just looking for like mediocre, really, and not
even a neutral natured kip.
This kip is really good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's minus special attack, which is not great, but this kip is adamant kip.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, if you're playing along, this is adamant, and that's the highest possible attack stat we can have at level 6, 16 attack.
So I will rename this kip when we reach the name raider in Slateport, which is the 3rd town. So it won't be too far from now when I get to do that.
What kind of marathon luck is this, May?
Don't worry.
That kip's amazing.
I'll use it all up right now.
Yeah, the bad special attack sounds scary, but we only use special attacks for the first chunk of the run. Unfortunately, one of the worst fights of the run is in that first chunk.
Yeah.
But the plus attacks can be really, really nice for later.
We'll probably get into that when we start talking about ranges.
You're gonna see
more intense Pokemon jargon.
Whenever I level up, you might hear me just list off a bunch of numbers, and that's because behind the scenes, I'm feeding in my stats at every level into a program that slowly calculates what my IVs are.
Shoutouts to WarTab for creating that.
Yep. And that lets us
I actually have the program pulled up too.
That lets us know pretty much exactly what strategies we want to use. I don't know why I ran all the way to the left there.
Yeah, and the reason why we have to do stuff like that is there's no way to really identify your IVs, at least during the run. And the only way to kind of figure it out is to kind of progressively track all your level ups over a long period of time just to have an idea.
But we got the first hurdle out of the way. We know the attack is really high. So yeah, if you are playing along in chat, and not only is this a plus attack natured Mudkip, the IV is between 27 and 31.
Yeah, it's literally
like
max.
Really high, really high.
So a fun thing about this game early too is that we don't have repels yet. So until we reach Slateport, or actually until we reach I forgot what the cave is called. There's like some tunnel.
Granite Cave.
Yeah, until we reach like this tunnel, we're just kind of at the whims of the RNG gods to determine how much time we lose to encounters. Every encounter we get loses 16 seconds. At least.
Yeah, and having 3 total wild encounters throughout the run, or the first part of the run, is pretty fair. Like 3 is probably to be expected. 4 is like okay, but you've lost a little time. I've probably seen as much as like 7, and you're like, okay, I've lost 45 seconds for no reason.
Yeah, my
hey,
median
thanks.
I think is 4.
Yeah, that's the fun part of this game is you reset a bunch for a mudkip that's runnable, and then you get like 7 encounters, and then you reset anyway, pretty much.
You are going to see me saving a lot in this run, and that is because this route is not safe. There are a lot of fights.
Especially the early game.
Yeah.
The mudkip / marsh stomp has like a lot of fights that were just like right on the edge. Like if we get crit in a wrong spot, the run would technically
25,
be over.
17, 13, 12, 13, 11. Okay, that's good special attack. And we don't have bad speed. This kip rules, actually. These encounters don't.
Yeah.
So, T-Pat just mentioned that the early game's really scary. Because this is Alpha Sapphire, the whole game's really scary. Oh my god. The whole game's really scary.
I totally forgot that you're the runner doing
I'm
Alpha Sapphire, and we're the
runner.
commentators that do Omega Ruby.
There are a couple major differences between the two versions, and that's why the leaderboards are split for this game. While they're... What is this?
Wow. 3 in 1 pack. That's pretty crazy.
Ooh, yeah.
I've never seen that before.
That's why the leaderboards are split for this game. Specifically, we're going to have 2 main switches in this game. We don't actually use Mudkip for the entire route, because the game gives you Latias and Kyogre essentially for free. So we're going to be taking advantage of those. That's a pretty big difference between the two versions, because in Omega Ruby, you get Latios and Groudon. Latios is much better than Latias for speedrunning.
Way better.
Because it has, their base stats are kind of flipped, where Latios is a more offensively based Pokemon, and Latias is a defensive Pokemon. And dealing damage is fast, and not dealing damage is slow.
Yes.
And so the mid-game for this game is actually a lot worse and scarier for Latias for that reason. Whereas it's pretty reliable in Omega Ruby.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Kyogre rules. Kyogre's
Groudon's
great.
not too bad.
Groudon's not bad,
Yeah,
but Kyogre's great.
Not as bad as Latios, basically, is the,
Yeah.
the comparison here. So while Kyogre's better, Groudon's not that much worse. So that's why Omega Ruby is just
Sword Dance is it got you. Sword Dance has you covered.
Yeah.
Does anybody quick question? Does anybody know how to catch
Like-
Pokemon? I think I've forgotten.
Ooh, we might have to do like a whole cutscene thing.
Okay. I hope so. That would help.
I mean, you did get like 4 or 5 encounters, and you didn't catch any of them.
I
so.
know. If this was Gen 8, I could have caught one and skipped this cutscene. In every game up until Sword and Shield, you have to watch the catch tutorial, even if you've already caught something. So we just gotta sit through this.
In Gen 3, this fight actually wasn't scripted. Like, the Ralt encounter was scripted to the degree where you'd always fight a Ralt, right? But the stats were never fixed, and you could also, you could see like a shiny Ralt, and there's like a 1 in over 25,000 or over 200,000 chance where the Zigzagoon actually just kills the Ralts by double high roll critting in very specific situations, which just saves like a bunch of time. But this fight's completely scripted, so nothing fun like that in this game.
Yeah, I remember Gen 3. You pretty much just are rolling brand new Pokemon, both the Zigzagoon and the Ralts. But yeah, this one's scripted, so he's not going to catch a shiny. He's not going to accidentally KO. If there was a task of this game, they wouldn't save time by like getting a crit or something. Like, no, it's all scripted.
Do we need to explain the plot stuff, what's happening, or what's happened so far?
So the plot for this game so far is that we are the daughter of Norman, who's the gym leader here. We'll see Norman later. He's a bad dad. We ride in the back of a moving truck, which is very unsafe. Don't do that. To our new house. And
like no air conditioning, no windows, like no seatbelts.
It's not good. And
you're just hitchhiking.
And so we saved Professor Birch from a rogue Zigzagoon, and so he gives us a Pokemon as thanks, and now we're doing our Pokemon adventure. I'm going to save here and not forget to do it like I always do, because this fight can kill us.
So you might know that the first meme of running Oras is just getting pocket sand thrown in your face a bunch of times. Yeah, that's the scariest thing of this fight. The first grunt has a Puchiana, which isn't overly threatening. It is a higher level than us right now, but if he throws a sand attack in our face and then we miss, it becomes infinitely more scary.
Yeah.
And that's why you die.
Because he could also crit us. I haven't died in this fight in a while, but
Lucky you.
Why would you
I
say
played this
that?
fight really safe, to be fair.
Did I tell you about
the
the...
May has potions already, so
Yeah, we do get a bunch of
hard
free
to die unless
potions.
things go really badly.
We get a bunch of free potions from the guy in the first town who's like, hey, welcome. Oh, there's the sand attack. Just hit.
You're also speed tied, which is kind of
This is now scary.
awkward.
Just win
So there
the
was-
speed
there
tie.
was-
A genius.
Yeah, win the speed tie. And hit. Okay, we're good.
It's also worth noting in this game too.
I
in
did
older
check my
games, tackle
stats.
was 95% accuracy.
It was
In this
plus
game,
2,
tackle
plus 2,
punch
plus
is
2,
max.
I think.
Oh, I got him.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. I missed. You have 19 attack, that's all I saw.
It was definitely plus
The-
2, plus 2, plus 2. So I think that means I'm at 15 defense? Whatever.
Hey, did I tell you about the time when I was trying to run this last weekend and I died to this fight 3 times out of 4?
That's okay, nobody has worse luck in this game than T-Pat, and that's a fact. Except
And
for
it's not-
encounters.
it's not
I have
even-
the worst encounter luck of all of Oras, and I will not be
So-
convinced otherwise.
So that's true, because 2 of those times I died to that fight, I had no encounters up to that fight.
Yeah, I'm at 5.
Yeah, this is, you got some pretty rotten luck. And you
Tail's a
must
good
be...
Pokemon, though.
Yeah, that
Oh,
tail
good job
probably...
waiting there. Jeez.
Yeah, I would have not waited and got hit by that spinner. Spinners
Yeah,
are
the spinners
not...
like to start spinning while you're like coming out of a battle sometimes, so it's really scary to get an encounter there.
Yeah, especially if you're like on the tile that you can get hit and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's a spinner, by the way. We should talk about spinners, I think.
Yeah.
Spinners in
So-
Oras are terrible. They're especially bad compared to all other Pokemon games in the way that no other game is like.
I don't know about that. Etchy runs Gen 4 a lot, and those spinners are something...
But at least like they don't feel as bad when you get hit by a Gen 4 spinner.
It's
'Cause
true.
you know if you're like taking a risk on it or not. Here it's like they kind of function a lot like Let's Go or the older Pokemon games where they spin in one direction, or they spin to face like up, down, left, right. Pretty much they never face like a diagonal, even though you can run on any axis in this game, right?
That's a
But,
spinner that we passed. Pretty easy.
Yeah. And the problem is that while they're spinning, unlike every other game in the Pokemon series, or every other gen, while they're spinning, they can actually see you. So if they're spinning from like left to right and they spin upwards and you're running upwards during that time, after they finish spinning, they'll have an exclamation point and they will trigger a battle with you, even though you were not even facing that direction.
It's the weirdest thing, and
No
I
other
think we
game is
all
like
have
this.
like, a clip. We all at least have one clip on our channel. Like you, me, Nox has one recently as well, of just if they're spinning left to right and you're in their like cardinal direction of vision as they spin, they'll hit you in a direction that they might not even be able to spin or look. It's
Here we're in Roxanne's gym. May actually doesn't fight any trainer here. If she wants to just fight Roxanne directly, you can see this pass around all the trainers. But she desperately needs the XP. Obviously, we're fighting as few options as possible. And coming up on the first gym leader, if she doesn't get the extra level here, it becomes much scarier than it needs to be.
We intentionally fight 2 trainers in this route.
and they all have Geodudes.
They all have Geodudes.
Which means they're 4x weak to this water attack.
29, 22, 16, 14, 16, 13. 29, 22, 16, 14, 16, 13. Okay, cool. We're going to...
Yeah, this is fantastic.
I'm going to tap the map. We're on accident. We're going to save here because we can't get crit by Roxanne. Which
This is
kills
like the
run.
only fight where Torrent matters, which is the ability of our starter Pokemon. In fact, every starter Pokemon has the Overgrow, Blaze, Torrent ability. This is really the only fight that we try to leverage Torrent, but it's not like vital.
Well, the way
What's
those
vital is don't die.
The way those abilities work is that if our health is below 1/3 of our total, then we do an additional 50% damage with in this case, water type moves. So this fight's strategy is actually really neat. This Geodude knows Rock Tomb, and so does the Nose Pass we're going to fight next. But for some reason, her AI won't trigger, won't use Rock Tomb if we're slower than her, and Rock Tomb lowers our speed. 20, 32, 23. I don't know what it was. I accidentally hit A. But
that is a nice little, I guess you could call it like a glitch in the AI, because Rock Tomb is easily her most powerful move, but she'll only use it if we're faster. Because once she's faster, she'll only use Tackle. And Tackle will do probably around 8 points of damage, maybe sometimes 9 on a high roll. So we just want to stay out of getting KO'd. So in this case, you had 8 HP.
Oh, glad I healed there.
That is easily KO range, so we're going to use a potion here.
I got crit,
and
too.
You got crit.
So, good call, me.
Thank you.
Roxanne. Really simple, really straightforward. In older gens, the AI would actually switch back
18,
to Rock Tomb. Like the rich
15.
they would actually switch back if they were in kill range, like if they could kill you with Rock Tomb, but they just don't do that in this game. So just a cool little strat to kind of take advantage of that.
Another thing we do in that fight is that first Geodude has Sturdy, which is an ability that means if you would kill it from full health, it'll live at 1 HP instead. And all the gym leaders have potions. So what we do is we try to intentionally trigger Sturdy. I didn't actually have high enough special attack to trigger it, but it still hits low enough.
You left that Geodude on 2, so you actually save time by not triggering the Sturdy text.
And so that means she uses her potion on Geodude, but that doesn't get its health all the way up to full, so we still just kill it in one shot the next turn anyways, which means that she can't use the potion on Nose Pass, which would take a lot longer because Nose Pass is a lot tankier of a Pokemon. So
yeah, through the first gym, no problem so far.
Plot now, that scientist we met in the woods. Oh my goodness. That scientist in the woods that we saved.
You have horrible encounter luck.
I know I do. The scientist in the woods, he's back. A Team Aqua Grunt stole
parts or something.
Yeah, some sort of like machine part. You know, that's a crystal thing. And we're gonna try to get back for him. And this hiker is the second. This hiker is the second. How about is this 7 or 8?
I think it's a 7.
Double Whismer too. Wow.
This hiker is the second optional we're going to fight on purpose.
And the only other optional of the run, you might be thinking like, oh, why are you fighting optionals? And again, he's just got a couple Geodudes, so he's going to go down in 3 turns. The second one has Sturdy. But this is really important for our EXP route. So we want Mudkip to evolve into Marshtomp, which gains a ground typing before the trainer that has the Plusle and Minun, which is right before the rival fight, because that Plusle and Minun only have Spark. We would really hate to still be Mudkip and be getting hit by super effective moves. So it's all planned out to gain just enough experience to evolve the fight before that. And then the Plusle and Minun can't even damage us when we get there.
This Kip is solid.
So that's why we so that's why we fight the 2 optionals that we do.
This is the sailor that's going to help us later. His Wingull got stolen. Pico.
Pico's the best Pokemon in this game, by the way.
I'm gonna do a bunch of Mediwig here to teach some moves and heal up and use a Repel. We're gonna teach Rock Tomb.
He's gonna teach 2 interesting moves here. Rock Tomb, which we just kind of talked about, just lowers the opponent's speed. So just a high power rock move that we'll take advantage of in a few places. And then Echoed Voice is the really interesting one here, as it's one that's not in the original Gen 3 games. I don't know if it's Gen 6 or
it's Gen 6 move, I believe.
Gen 6. Okay, so it's a normal type move. It's a special attack move, and this is the only reason why we care about our Mudkip special attack. Echoed Voice has a special property where every time you use it, it gets more and more powerful if you keep using it consecutively. That breaks if you use an item, but as long as you keep using that move, you get a lot of damage really fast, and that's basically the only way we can get through Brawly's gym fast.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why we care about
And
our
that
special
and that is why we fight Brawly second instead of, I think, fifth, because the Emerald runs actually hold Brawly off until much, much later
Yeah.
because it is so difficult. But Echoed Voice gives us more than enough power that we can tackle it while we're in Dewford for the first time.
By movement
But this
there,
fight that you're seeing here, we got another grunt fight. Again, this one has Pocket Sand as well, so don't get hit with Pocket Sand, you're fine.
yeah. My movement there is a bit weird because I'm not used to saving on that fight. 28.
Did you talk to Pico?
No,
like I've
no,
done
I did
before?
not. I almost did though.
Yeah.
I PB'd on a run that I talked to Pico,
You don't
and I'm like,
lose
it was
that
good
much
luck.
time talking to Pico.
Yeah, this is Mr. Briny. We're gonna go right now to head over to him, but we have to first get thanked by what is the company called?
Devon Co, right?
Devon Corp.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. So we had to go there first, but Mr. Briny's gonna help us get to our next place because he saved his lovely Pico. And right now we have a repel up, so no more encounters for a little while. There's only one other opportunity to get an encounter. It's like 3 grass patches.
swear.
That, May is gonna run through.
Dude, well, I mean, you did run through that one grass tile on Route 102 and didn't get hit, so I have confidence. You're not going to get an encounter on 104.
No one gives.
And we're
no one gives me
technically
8
not
encounters and
done-
gets away with it.
We're technically not done with wild counters after that either. There's a couple rock smash encounters that we
That's
could get,
true.
so
Yeah.
just bringing that up now so we're not surprised later.
So yeah, we're gonna talk
I
to
love action surprise.
we're gonna talk to the Devon company because the scientist is like, thanks for saving this part, for finding this part for me. Talk to our president, and the president's like, I'm gonna install an app on your smartphone, and you're gonna do a job for me.
He also might be related to somebody important in this
Yeah.
run, but we'll skip that for now because I do want to bring this up because in 2 battles is going to be the absolute hardest fight in the game.
I disagree. It's the second worst fight in the game.
I mean,
It's actually
it is
my-
close,
it's
and
actually
I,
my
and I know who you're
third-
referencing.
It's my third least favorite fight in the game. I really
So-
hate Archie too.
So if you're even if you have like limited knowledge of Pokemon, you might be thinking, oh, it's probably like one of the gym leaders, maybe the champion, somebody in the Elite Four. Nope, it's just going to be some random gym trainer in Brawly's gym is what I think is the absolute hardest fight in the game and one of the biggest death points of any ORS speedrun.
It's real bad.
So we might want to talk about him now because it's going to take some time to explain just who is Black Belt Hideki.
So
Yeah, the one thing to point out too is that in a normal like casual playthrough, he's probably not that scary.
He only has one
As
Pokemon.
a trainer, he just has one Pokemon, just a Machop. You know, you just have like any other Pokemon, and you can probably deal with it really easily. But because this is a speedrun, we're very underleveled right now, where you would normally expect to be at that point. And that makes the fight a lot nastier, and that's why we have to rely on Echoed Voice so much just to get through that fight in a somewhat efficient manner.
And really the big problem is like Roxanne, he has a move that can lower our speed. He has low sweep.
oh my god, I missed
So-
him.
Just knock
Oh
Pico.
my goodness, I'm choking.
There you go.
So this can happen sometimes.
I don't know the last time I've done that.
You usually try to cut off Mr. Briny while he's chasing Pico, but had a whiff there. But yeah,
Marathon jitters, I
has-
guess.
So as we were saying, Hideki's Machop has low sweep, which can lower our speed, so it makes him faster. And we have to 3-shot him, so we need to try to not die in 2 turns. And there is a way we can easily die in 2 turns, but with your defense and HP, it's not as likely, thankfully.
Yeah, but my special attack makes it not likely that we hit the range.
Yeah, so that's where special attack, this kind of special attack, you have high IV, but we're minus special attack. So it's a 3-shot range for us. He needs to 2-shot with a crit or 3-shot us, but he also has focus energy. So if he uses focus energy, that low sweep is now 50% to crit us each time. So if you do up the math and everything, you usually about somewhere between 35 to 40% chance to just outright lose to that fight.
Every fight in this gym, except for every fight in this gym can go badly. The one that like is honestly the safest is the leader, Brawly.
Yeah, Brawly's AI is kind of the worst, but
And you saw May equip an item right before this gym called the Silk Scarf. That just boosts the power of all your normal type moves by 20%, and that pairs up quite nicely with Echoed Voice. You can see also in this battle, May is using Echoed Voice against Detect, which is a Protect type move, so it just nullifies the attack, but that doesn't break the Echoed Voice damage multiplier.
Can we explain Echoed Voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Echoed Voice is, just to recap, it's a 40 power move, but the second time it's 80 power, the third time it's 120 power. Yeah, it just stacks fast, even against Protect or Detect. But yeah, here we go. Here's Black
Belt Hideki, the first boss of the game. If he decides to low sweep us twice,
we can't get.
he can just kind of pick that we lose. All right, Foresight.
He also has Foresight, which is basically a free turn for us. That's the best start to that fight possible.
I just gotta hit the rage and not get crit.
May has super potions, but you don't want to use super.
Well, I didn't hit the rage, but as long as I don't get crit, we're fine. I have been crit.
Of course. That was extremely lucky. Yeah, this is the downside of being minus special attack here.
Yeah.
The range.
Like we said, that was a range. If you would have hit the range, you would have lived, and he was only 50% chance to crit you on that last turn, and you failed that one. So
the way.
Yeah, so like we said, Hideki kind of is the one of the worst parts of this run.
The way that the Pokemon damage formula works is it essentially rolls a 16-sided die, and like boosts the damage you deal based on that. So every damage roll can be one of 16 values, and I just happened to get a low roll.
You got a nice roll on your second Echoed Voice, but you had a really bad roll on that third one. He starts with
crit on the second low sweep. She can only Super Potion out of it and have another chance.
Oh my god! Please don't crit me.
Just hit the range again.
Wow.
Oh.
Unreal.
So that fight went exactly the same way. Missed range into a crit, second low sweep crit. That really stinks.
Is this 80% range or 40? Whatever.
It's 40 something, I believe. I mean, let me check. Yeah, it's 46.9%.
Yeah.
Including crits.
So that's the chance of May defeating this Machop in 3 hits.
This time for sure.
I hope. Maybe we'll just get stuck on this for an hour.
Potions here.
I didn't Super Potion. I probably should have.
No, it's okay. You pretty much get into a loop at that point until you have enough HP to tank a low sweep.
Yeah.
And even then, it's still pretty scary, and you might just waste 5 turns and then die anyway.
This is very unlucky, by the way.
This is honestly, it's just making up for your first try Kip luck.
Yeah, but the encounter's already made up for that. What do you mean?
Okay, that's true. Then this is just making up for you'll get a great Latias. We're just exchanging good RNG for bad RNG.
The game's blacking out because I'm resetting.
Yeah, so that's why we say. I mean,
please don't crit me.
If you're,
I did it.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I can't believe you missed that 3-shot range all 3 times.
Good work. Now we can finally go to a really bad fight after this.
Yeah. Oh my god, what am I doing?
All right, so we're definitely past like the first really hard boss of the game, and it's just really funny because it's just like you just spam Echoed Voice and pray.
Yeah, May is literally gonna save for every single fight here. That's how annoying this gym is.
This gym sucks.
It's awful.
And then you think you're all good because you beat Hideki, but if you get confused by Tessa, and you hit yourself.
That happened to me a bunch too. It's the worst when you're doing like PB attempts and you beat Hideki and then lose to Tessa, and you're like, what was even the point?
Yeah, because if you hit yourself in confusion, it breaks your echoed voice chain. I've been crit,
Yeah, it's brutal.
but I crit back. I don't know if that's good.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing. Like, us critting the opponent actually can be really awkward because sometimes we need the multipliers for like the second Pokemon of these trainers, especially for Brawly himself.
Yeah, and if May didn't crit that Meditite there, she probably would have one-shot the Machop because it would have had an extra turn of damage boost.
So now I'm going to take off the
Still a
Silk
range
Scarf
of the special attack, though.
because Brawly's has a move called...
A cheater.
Brawly has a move
Brawly's a cheater.
Brawly has a move called Knockoff, and what Knockoff does, it does more damage if we're holding a held item. So in this case, we don't want to have a held item in almost all cases. If you have super high defense, you can get away with it, but...
And if you have super high special attack, you can try to get away with it, because you might be able to one-shot him at like the 4th echoed voice instead of the 5th. But that's usually something we don't risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brawly's a cheater because he can tell if we're holding an item or not. I don't know if he could like see the Mudkip wearing a scarf and be like, oh, I'll just knock that off.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. We just don't see the items ourselves. But yeah, this fight's actually pretty chill. Again, the easiest fight in the gym. You just spam Echoed Voice, but as long as you go in with full HP, you can't really die.
You can. I've died on this fight before.
Yeah,
It's very
in
unlikely.
fact, it's the
Yeah,
it's the Machop that's more scary because it'll take us 3 chances to KO him. He has Leer and he has Bulk Up. Bulk Up being the signature move of this gym, which increases attack and defense, and of course Leer lowers our defense. If he goes for a Seismic Toss, it's like, what are you doing, bro? That only does 14 damage every time. But he can use Karate Chop and crits, and that's usually the scariest part of the fight.
You also can miss from Sand Attack, which is always fun.
Yeah. The Makahita has Sand Attack.
But we
Who
got the
knew?
perfect fight.
Pocket Sand.
Yeah, it was really good. The nice thing there was that May's Echoed Voice, because she was minus special attack, this is why that happens. Normally your Echoed Voice will knock the Makahita into HP or healing range, so probably will heal it up, and then you have to waste more time, likely 2 more turns, but didn't have to worry about that there.
There's one more fight where having minus special attack could be an issue, and that's
Flannery.
Brendan 2. Oh, and Flannery.
Oh, that too.
But it's fixable, so it's not a big deal, especially with this attack. It's not nearly as bad as on Hideki.
I died to Flannery when I had like insanely low special attack. Like I was technically runnable. I had that 10 special attack at level 6, but it was like just barely. It was like 16 IV.
A nice fun thing about Marathon Safety 2 is that it screws up all your menus when you reset.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Etchy, you might know this, in the DS era, if after each battle, if the menus reset or not. Because I know in Gen 2 from playing enough randomizers that after each battle, your menu options are basically reset to default. But in this game, they're not. So basically, if you open the menu, it'll be on your last item you used at any point, as long as you don't soft reset, which we obviously did for Hideki.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the way in
So
Gen 4.
normally, my bag for like general items is on that repel automatically, but it wasn't here. So I'm glad I paused for a second there and didn't just try to use whatever the heck was my first slot, which I think was a Pokeball.
Yeah, once
it's the same in Gen 4, just soft resetting resets all your cursors, but normally, even after battles, they're in the same place you would accept Entity. And I believe it's the same in Gen 3 too. I can't remember otherwise.
So this is Steven. Steven likes rocks, and we give him a letter. And then
his last name is Stone, so
his last name is Stone. He's one of the few Pokemon characters with a last name and a first name. So we give him a letter, and then he's like, "I bet you'll be important someday," and then leaves.
yeah, he gave us a TM too.
He also gave us the Steel Wing TM, which we're not going to use.
I mean, most adults are just like, "Hey, have this TM." Isn't that cool?
Where do they get them all from?
I think they're just keeping their CD collection like some like 90s kid with like a boombox, just like, hey, here, have the CD.
I can respect that. What happens, you think, if you put like a TM in a CD player? What do you think it sounds like?
Ooh.
Is that what Screech is? Or metal? Is that what metal sound is?
Screech is just like nails on a chalkboard sound. It's like, why would you do this?
Which TM produces a corvimae Gruntilda impression?
Stop. I'm not gonna do it.
Dang it. Here we're getting the soft sand, which is basically the ground type equivalent of a silk scarf, just a 20% boost to your ground type moves, which is going to be more and more important as we become Marsh Stomp very shortly here.
We're also gonna grab this PP up to sell.
Yeah. PV up's not that useful, so it just increases PV by a very small amount, and we get enough free heals in this game where that usually doesn't matter. There's a couple spots where we'll elixir, but not super common.
So we're gonna deliver the part that we got to this dry dock, and that guy doesn't really know what he's doing, so he's like, please go talk to our captain. He's in the museum. He's the real brains behind the operation. So we're gonna go to the museum. The museum is another scary part of the run, because I always die there.
Yeah, you have really bad luck in the museum. I think you have the worst
really
luck.
Worse than the Sapphire too, right?
Yeah, it is. So Team Aqua and Team Magma have different Pokemon, and Aqua's Pokemon are worse because they are more likely to confuse you. So we're gonna save here. This is Captain Stern, and now these Aqua grunts are like, we're here to do crimes.
We're here to cause trouble.
They tell us to prepare for trouble, and there's 2 of them, so we have to make it double. So Rock 2, the move that lowers your speed that we mentioned before, has a 95% chance to hit. Which is really fun, because 5% of the time I die. That went fine though, because if your HP and defense are high enough, this fight's not too bad.
I can see why this fight's a lot worse in Alpha Sapphire than Omega Ruby now.
Yeah, it helps that Team Magma has a few more fire Pokemon, so here we fight a couple of Numels and one Zubat in Omega Ruby, and obviously Numels are weak to water, so we can take advantage of that, but May does not get that privilege
This
here.
is not a range, we just have to hit. But we do get outsped, and it didn't supersonic us, so that's good.
So we may have glossed over ranges, but we mentioned like each time you select a move, there's 1 in 16. We roll a d16 basically, and it determines a range of like damage values that we're gonna do against the opposing Pokemon. And we have that all calculated out throughout the run. And there are some Pokemon like that Zubat you just saw, where if our attack wasn't literally perfect, we might be like an 11 in 16 chance to one-hit KO that Zubat, which is called a range. We'd call that an 11-16 range, which is obviously my favorite range, because if you put that into a percentage, it's 69%.
Oh my god,
but
why?
In this case, since our attack is so high, even if we rolled a 1 on our D16, we can still one-hit KO. So that's
what are
nice.
my stats? Okay.
Marshtomp, which looks really weird and derpy in this gen.
He's the weird like teenage years.
The Drizzile of Mudkip.
Yeah.
And we're learning Mud Shot here too, which is a much nicer ground type move. It's a special attack though, so not super beneficial, but it does lower speed whenever May uses it, and we'll take advantage of it in a couple spots.
So this is Aqua leader Archie. He calls these 2 guys simps.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does. And then
I didn't know that.
we stare at him awkwardly for a little bit here. Little nice awkward pause, because they don't expect you to mash this fast.
We should talk about mashing. How wonderful it is in this game.
Oh,
There's
I'm gonna hold my DS so I can explain this. Otherwise, I just won't be able to visualize this.
So
all right, so in the button mashing, so we mentioned like There's a couple buttons that we can press to mash through here. There's the A and the B button on the DS. We can also mash the touch screen to advance the text forward, and then there's the L button as well. What we have to do, we set the text speed to fast, but if we actually hold down any button, we can make that text speed go faster. So the idea is that we're holding down one of the buttons and mashing the other buttons to make those text boxes clear as fast as possible. How I usually do that is I hold down the L button and then I mash the B button and the touch screen with my thumbs. But if you needed to select, say, like an A, since L equals A, I would actually have to switch to holding B and then mashing the L button or mashing the A button to get that to work. So it can cramp your hands pretty quickly because you got to hold the DS steady and you're holding a button down for every single text box that's on the screen in order to get it to go as fast as possible.
It does not feel good. This game is painful.
Yeah.
In many ways.
and
Emotionally
it's like
and
that
physically.
You actually may have noticed that even if you play like Sword and Shield casually, if you hold down a button, you can get the text to scroll faster than what even a fast speed is.
Yeah,
But
very,
it's a bit more
friendly
precise.
design.
So this part, we're going to learn about T-Pat's favorite part of the game, which is Pokemon contests.
Contest!
We're not going to do any contests in this run, but we could.
Boo. I'm kidding. You only do contests if you foolishly run all Mega Stones like I do.
Which is a very long
Are you
category,
reader?
which would be perfect for this marathon, but I do not run that category, so
Hit me up next time. I'll do it. I'll do it next year.
nice. So look forward to that, everyone.
Hey, I love Altaria. That's a super cute Pokemon, and you can't convince me otherwise.
That's fair. Would anyone like to... I just bought a bunch of items at the shop. I bought more repels, and I bought a bunch of what's called X items. Would somebody like to explain
for
how
it.
combat stages work?
Yes, and are you gonna name rate now as well?
Yes, I do have to name rate. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes. So yeah, combat stages. Basically,
Is it here?
First, I guess
think it's
X
here.
items are. Yeah, it should be it. You can check really fast.
Don't leave. Oh my god.
Okay, cool. We're good. So combat stages. Basically, there's 6 combat stages in either direction, so you can be +0 to +6 or +0
Oh my
to
god.
-.
That's not the delete button. I gotta do it again. Hold on.
Boger.
Okay.
Boger, yeah.
I am notorious for doing this whenever I name things, by the way. I think the delete button is the backspace every time.
I think you should nickname the Latias Boger when you get there.
Alright, fine.
I'm
I will
gonna
name the
sidetrack.
Remind me and I will name the Latias Boger.
But there was one time where May got a shiny Mudkip, and she wanted to name it Content because she wasn't going to do a run with it. I think because it wasn't runnable, right?
It was runnable, but it was really bad.
It was really bad, yeah. So she wanted to name it Content, and then she messed up while naming it, and it became COBT. And that's literally what just happened right there. We got Boger.
I don't know why these keyboards like break my brain. It's so bad.
By the way, here's the fight we wanted to be Marsh Stomp for because it's the Pulse
Yeah.
Line.
They cannot actually
but
hurt
actually,
us.
go
All
ahead
they
with-
can do is heal
yeah.
us.
But go ahead, Edgy, with the combat stages.
So you'd be -6 to +6. You start every battle at +0 pretty much. Basically, X items will increase X items will increase your stage by 1 up to +6. You can also get moves from your opponent or use your own moves that decrease that. So like Growl will lower your attack by 1 stage. Screech sharply decreases, so it lowers it by 2 stages. And to kind of keep it simple, each time you increase a stage, you're going to do a lot more damage or be a lot tankier.
It increases the stat by
something like
50%.
Yep. So basically, and that's relevant for this next fight, and this is why May bought all those X items. She really needs to be bulky to fight Brendan right now. Brendan has 2 Pokemon that are not scary at all in a Slugma and a Whalmer. We can deal with those pretty easily, but as a Grovyle, obviously.
I almost got hit by that guy.
Grovyle is a grass-type Pokemon, and now that we're Marshtomp, we're water ground, which means grass is 4 times as effective. So what we want to do is one-shot this Grovyle and not take a single turn from it. Brendan has random AI, so it's not guaranteed to kill you if Brendan does get a turn. And there are some strats that revolve around just rolling the dice and letting it happen and hoping you don't get it. But with any kind of set of stats, as long as you don't have any kind of X special defense or increases in your special defense, it will one-shot you no matter your stats with a Mega Drain. And we don't want to see that.
So the idea
is setting up to, I think you're going to go all the way.
Plus
You're going to do
+4.
+4 is special attack in order to guarantee this range because, again, bad special attack. And then she's also going to use a couple X speeds in order to outspeed the Grovyle and just not worry about it, and then go to town with Echoed Voices. And she also needs to make sure her HP is okay, because Slugma's going to get a turn
Slugma's
off.
being very nice right now.
Yeah, it really is. And Grovyle has a quick attack as well, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is that Echoed Voice will be the 3rd Echoed Voice we use on the Grovyle, and we're doing that at +4, so it's just going to do a massive amount of damage. But we do give this Slugma a chance. The worst thing that can happen is the Slugma uses Ember and Burns after you use your first Echoed Voice. That's literally the worst thing that can happen.
Got that in my PB? Oh, no, no, not after the first Echoed Voice. It was turn 1.
Yeah, if it burns you, you have to kind of deal with it. It thankfully doesn't lower your special attack because burn just halves attack.
It's just really slow.
But you have to, you just have to heal to full before you go to town.
So that's Brendan 2, and now this enters the hey, we actually get to use our insane attack part of the run.
Yeah, so this was basically the first quarter. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
basically the first quarter of the run, and that was the last time we used Echoed Voice. So, yeah, I think we use Mudshot against Flannery because Torkoal is physically bulky.
I better grab the safety revive.
Yeah, we're gonna actually buy a TM that's gonna be one of the most powerful moves for Marshtomp in the game, like by far.
You can't see it, but I'm looking very close at my DS right now to try to figure out where this guy's turning.
Oh, this is the worst spinner to pass, I think, because you kind of have to look at his legs to see if they're like looking towards you or away. It's so awkward.
We're gonna grab 2 Lepa Berries here. What a Lepa Berry does is it restores the PP of a move by 10, and so we need that to make sure we don't run out of PP later on.
Yeah, there's a good deal of free heals in this game, but there are some segments where there's just none, or it's slow to do it. So we want to.
What are those
make sure
Lepas we will not use until the Elite Four?
But here we're gonna get a bike. For those who remember the original Ruby Sapphire Emerald and haven't played this game, there's 2 choices for the bike: an acro bike and a mock bike. Acro bike is slower, but you can do like you can do like certain obstacles with it. But we don't want to go slow; we want to go fast, and we don't need the acro bike to progress past the game. So we're gonna get the mock bike.
Oh my god! I talked to him again.
You can swap that bike anytime there, but the mock bike is not as lightning fast as it is in Gen 3, where you feel like you have no control over it until you get really good with it. Here it's much more reasonable, but it is pretty fast, so you got to be a little bit careful with it. And we're buying Bulldoze.
So this is a strat that's actually very different than so the Bulldoze is actually in the original games, but in the original games, the game works a little bit differently in that whether or not a move is a special or a physical move is based on the type of the move instead of the move itself. That was something that was changed in Gen 4. And so originally, it was a special move, which made it really bad on Marshtomp because we have a good attack stat. But now it's a physical move, so we can actually use it for the run. Hooray!
Hooray! Now we're using the mock bike. You can see it's pretty quick. It does have like a cooldown, so like when we're passing spinners that you'll see coming up, we'll actually have to like let go of the circle pad like right as they like come on screen, so that way we kind of slow down and don't cross their vision because it's not immediate. But, oh no, you said no to Wally.
I said no to Wally there. I don't know why I did that. Wally's gonna put in his best, but we are going to demolish his poor ults because our attack is really good.
Yeah, sometimes
the
the
reason why the B thing happened there is because, as T-Pat was saying earlier, the mashing technique, you're usually mashing B in the touchscreen.
Oh, I didn't hit B. I hit up and then A.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that I was wondering how that happened. But yeah, I mean, the common way to say no to him is that you're just mashing B and you forget, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. I want to say
because you can't mash A and hold the L at the same time, as we've mentioned kind of at the beginning of this run, is that it's basically one button now, and if you're holding one button down, you can't mash it.
The actual reason that happened is that the 2 prompts before this are when we take the boat ride from Mr. Bridey, and those default to no, and you have to hit up once.
So you did that here.
And so I did that here. It's not the end of the world.
So,
it loses like 5 seconds.
Yeah, so as is with any speed run, like sometimes you're just mashing and you lose focus, but then a prompt comes up and it surprises you, and you're like, oh, shoot.
This is Watson's gym?
This is the easiest gym in the game.
It is.
Yeah, it's great.
We just use Bulldoze a bunch until the last fight, where we have to break Sturdy, and then we use Bulldoze a bunch.
Yeah, this
Pretty
is
much.
the nice part of being water ground is you can't get hurt by electric moves. This next section, until we get to the 5th gym leader, is kind of why Marshtomp is so insanely good for this run. He's just very good against both Watson and Flannery, and just demolishes them.
And I mean, Bulldoze not only is a powerful ground type move, and we're holding Soft Sand to increase our ground type move power, it also lowers opponent's speed. So in anything that we can't one-shot, we're just going to be faster than anyway. So it's amazing because Marshtomp's worst stat line is speed. It's only 50 base speed.
Yeah, Marshtomp is slow.
And, yeah, but we have Bulldoze, so we'll just make everything slower than us, which is really convenient. But yeah, this is honestly like the really relaxing. I love this youngster because you talk to him and he's like, aren't gym puzzles fun?
Yeah. I mean, this one's fine. It's just not the ice puzzle.
Yeah, the ice puzzle is going to be a thing.
We'll get there when we get there.
That's probably the reason why I think this is the easiest gym instead of Wallace's gym, because, I mean, you still have to do the ice puzzle.
Wallace's gym is much harder than this gym. You can get confused. Then you have to heal.
What, you don't do Persilberry strats?
No, we don't have enough in this game. You underestimate how bad Latias is.
Yeah, okay. All right, true.
And you also
point
forget that every single Pokemon that Team Aqua has will at some point confuse you.
Yeah. So, okay. All right, no. You convinced an Omega Ruby runner that is far more difficult.
Yes. We will see the point at which, like, there's a point mid-game where we just fight a bunch of Aqua traders, and it's, oh man, it's a lot more rough on this game. It's like actually a really scary part for Latios, and it's just free for Latios.
Yeah, the worst thing that can happen to Latios is that the Mightyenas just keep attacking you, and you're like, oh, I've got to heal in between each fight now.
The worst thing that happens for Latios is we lose the run.
And there's more than one way that can happen.
There's 4. There's 4 fights and they can all lose the run. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster between like which run has a worse team whatever section, because like the museum's worse for Alpha Sapphire, and then Mount Chimney is worse for Omega Ruby, and then the next section's worse for Alpha Sapphire, and then the rest of the game's worse for Alpha Sapphire. But here we have Watson. May's gonna lead with a water gun here just to break Sturdy, which this Magnemite has, and then go for an X speed just so she outspeeds every other part of this fight, and then just shoot the Bulldoze.
I do not speed the Voltorb. Outspeed the Voltorb. My speed isn't high enough.
Yeah, but outspeeding the Magneton's what's important, because the Magneton will almost always lead Confuse Ray, and we just got done talking about how being confused is the worst. Yes. So we're going to absolutely avoid that by using X speed. In fact, a neat little quirk of the menu item, sometimes you have what's called the last used item. Well, the last used item for us in battle was an X speed, and that was on Brendan 2 fight.
But I slow menued
so we
it.
can actually, Yeah, so we could save time by just mashing through use last used item. So that's why we usually try to use the X special attacks first and then the X speeds to save us this little extra time on this fight.
I'm used to having to heal in the Brendan fight after I set up.
That's true, because if you have to heal, then you have to slow menu it anyways.
So that's Watson's Gym. Super easy. Now we're going to do a movement section where we head over to Mount Chimney. No, not Mount Chimney.
Meteor Falls.
Meteor Falls, yes.
Meteor Falls, or as we like to call it, Spinner Falls. This will definitely be the trickiest movement of the game. But most importantly, for any Gen 3 runners, we get to skip Cool Trainer Brooke.
Cool Trainer Brooke's awful.
Yeah. We actually just, like, completely out of her vision. We don't even see her on screen, thankfully. But here what's happening is that we're teaching Rock Smash to Marshtomp. And this is kind of the beginning of Marshtomp going from being this super awesome ground attacker to being our HM friend for the back half of the run.
No cutter. Nice. Oh, come on.
Yeah, so the best thing you can get there is just nothing. You can get items, you can get encounters.
You can
Sometimes
even
you get some really useful items. You can get like an ether.
Yeah, in fact, the Omega Ruby route, you skip the Lepa berries. You try to save an elixir later, but if you get an ether or max ether on that Rock Smash, you can even skip another elixir pickup. So
I have had
that's
multiple runs saved by getting an elixir there.
Sometimes you can get a soft sand, and then you have two.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you get confused when you're menuing and you equip a soft sand over your soft sand. So some spinners and a runner there. There's a little bit of movement trick here where you just go all the way down to bonk, and then that way you avoid this trainer's vision, and then gonna grab some berries.
Yeah, these are the person berries. These, if we equip them, will heal off confusion. Which is nice because, again, we talked about how many Pokemon that can confuse us, so these person berries are like the most important thing. There's only 3 in that tree. There's actually another tree. There's another person berry tree on route, was it 121?
Yes.
Where there's 4. The Omega Ruby route does pick those up to not get confused like through the Elite 4, but it sounds like there's not quite enough in this route.
There's like probably a way to make it work for this route, but nobody runs this game.
T-Pad, do you want to explain why Mage is safe for this fight?
So this fight, this is Ace Trainer Wilton. He's the 3 ways to paralyze you fight. The Electrike has static, the ability static, but we don't make physical contact. So he can't paralyze us there. The Bagon has Dragon Breath, which can paralyze us, and we have to 2-shot, so we do give him a chance to hit us. Usually he goes for like Bite or Headbutt, but he can paralyze us. The Makahita, which is last, we can't 1-shot him unless we use an X attack, but he usually goes for Fake Out.
Why did I Rock Smash? Uh-oh.
So yeah, usually he goes for Fake Out, but he also has Force Palm, which can paralyze you.
That was a misclick.
He also has Knock Off, which can knock off your soft sand. And if he does any kind of weird combination where he doesn't use Fake Out when we're X attacking, it can be really bad. In fact, my last run when I was on world record pace died to that fight because he didn't go for Fake Out. He went for Force Palm, paralyzed, or he went for Knock Off. I couldn't 1-shot him. Then he used Force Palm and paralyzed me, which made me slower than him.
This is really painful part of the. Sorry. This is a really painful part of the run where AA Rune teaches us about secret bases and we mash for like 2 minutes.
Secret bases.
Secret bases are awesome. They're not part of the run, and this takes a long time.
They're not even part of the Omega Stones run, so so don't get your hopes up.
So sad. I love these things in Gen 3. I would spend way too much time decorating mine and have nobody come visit it ever. Yay.
That was like the saddest thing I've heard today.
That was
It's the same with like Gen 4 with the underground and stuff. I would just like
you'd build your base and be like,
running around
wow,
with no one there with me.
I can host so many people. Wait, I need friends first.
Well, but also like the original game, you had to like do it locally.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But now it's all online.
Like, it made secret bases in
Yeah,
Sword
it's
and
all
Shield.
online, and now we just don't have them anymore.
Exactly.
It's very sad.
But when Sinnoh remakes come out and the Underground comes back,
Oh, yeah.
Watch out! Everybody should be visiting Etchy's base. I'll do it. I'll do it, man.
So there, if you go as fast as possible there, you're gonna run into that trainer that may just bikes pass. But if you wait like just a split second, then you don't have to worry about it, which is what just happened.
And we successfully did cool trainer Brook skip. You didn't even see her on screen. She's standing way at the bottom of the route, so we bike right at the top, and
and she is awful.
The best route in the game, by the way. Best music in the game.
So with our attack as high as it is, the Trapinch here is really the only Pokemon that's still a range for us. It's 14 and 16 to KO
I often
at
miss
full
it.
health with maximum attack.
It's the takiest Trapinch in the world.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
Shoutouts to Flygon, the best Gen 3 Pokemon.
Shout out to Flygon. But yeah, the rest of this route and the following route, so 113, 114, has some very tricky movement where we're dodging runners and we're dodging spinners.
Ooh.
There's some ninja kids that are hiding in those ash piles, so we don't want to be in like the tile right next to them.
I honestly don't
Very
know
annoying.
most of the ash piles that have kids versus items. I just avoid them all.
It's the two that you have to go around the corner, like really hug the corners.
I know the
which are
one by
super
by the roamer, but the way I do it is consistent. It's fine. I don't need to know where they are.
In round 2, in E4 round 2, I actually go through one of the ash piles because it's holding a nugget, and I try to pick up the nugget because it's my best reference point for where to pick up a hidden item. Is one of those ash piles, so I bike straight through it, and you're like, "Is that a kid?" And you're like, "Nope, it's a nugget."
This whole section is just like annoying fights. This one's also annoying. It's just a little Aeron, but you need
Has
Rock Smash
30.
here to two-shot it. The problem is it likes to spam protect a lot and just waste your time.
It's gonna protect now. Just watch. Yep.
Only one protect is like. No, okay, never mind.
Got the one. Got the 1 in 3.
Okay.
Got the 1 in 9.
Are you serious?
Wow.
It did not get the
That's
1 in 27.
insane. How does the odds decrease on each?
It's 1/3, isn't it?
I think it's 1/2.
Is it 1/2?
So I think you got. So it's guaranteed the first time it protects. It'll be 1 in 2 the second time, then 1 in 4 the next time. I think it's like that.
I thought it was 1/3, but I could be wrong.
I want to double check now.
Either way, you just got unlucky.
That was not
Oh,
the
by the way,
prompt for the Comet Shard. That was the prompt for my repel.
Yeah. So the Comet Shard sells for $15,000. So that's pretty much our funding for the route.
Very, very.
I'm not going to be brave here.
There's a runner, spinner. To dodge this guy,
I am
there's
going
a
to save
1
here.
tile gap in between the stairs and his vision. So we'll be careful here. I always YOLO it because
This fight could suck. I died on this fight in my last practice.
Yeah. It's pretty annoying in both games.
It's
This is a double battle. You have to rely on Brendan to kind of not be terrible.
Which is
and Brendan
a
is
big
terrible.
ask.
Yeah.
He
He
leads
leads
random moves pretty much, so it just kind of is what
He
it
leads-
is.
the Slugma, which is like the worst thing. So we actually use Bulldoze to KO the Slugma because we're like, get that out of here, man. Like, use one of your good Pokemon.
I mean, we also just like want to use Bulldoze. It's quite a good move. Oh, nice. Slugma got confused and not me.
Really good, yeah. And it kind of hits it. Wow. It did
Oh,
damage.
no. By the way, May, you were right. It is 1/3, and then
Yeah.
it multiplies each time. So it was a 1 in
I thought
was
so.
it? Third one?
9.
This is
1 in 9
also
on
this double is the first fight where you see the fact that the 3DS really cannot handle double battles. It is very laggy.
The Grovow's out now. Things are a lot nicer. As long as Grovow doesn't use like that. Okay, never mind. Spoke too soon again. It
Did
has
it
like
use-
Leaf Blade, which does a lot of damage, and then does that too. Wait, Leaf Blades this. That'd be nice.
Yeah, even
He always leaf blades it, I think.
Pretty good.
it's amazing
Probably
that
kill AI.
little smarter for this fight, and then he goes back to being like absolutely dumb.
Yeah.
So this is where we also get to beat Team Magma admin, or Team Magma Maxi, who's the leader of Team Magma. He shows up. If you don't like first-person Cloverfield shaky cam, now's the time to look away. I hate this cutscene. It gives me a headache.
You always look away. It has something to do with like the 3D-ness and like the water moving and
Yeah,
the waterfall.
it's bad. It does not feel good.
It's really weird too, because it's like supposed to be from his perspective, but nobody's head bounces like that when they walk. You know?
Yeah, it kind of like bounced like at an angle.
Yeah, he's definitely intoxicated when he's walking over here.
He's got like the drunk glasses on that everybody had to do in like high school.
Gosh, forgot about those.
Oh, God,
Maybe
so
that's
bad.
why his glasses actually he just grabbed the
Like
wrong
this one, like
glasses.
nobody walks like that. And the thing is, like when you see him walk towards you when you're back at this perspective, he's not moving his head at all. His head is like stuck.
So, Team Magma, or Team Aqua wanted the meteorite, which even though we beat
They
them,
took it
they just stole it anyways, so...
They broke the cardinal rule of Pokemon: is if you lose in a Pokemon battle, you gotta take a hike.
They did take a
But
hike.
they
They
were
just
right.
also stole the meteorite.
What are you doing?
So this professor's going to give us another TM that we're not going to use. And then Brendan's going to ask us if we want to go back to Mauville with him.
You're not gonna use Omega Ruby uses it all the time.
Do you? What do they give you?
So he gives you Smackdown.
Oh, okay.
Which Groudon will use because Groudon will use the Smackdown Earthquake combination on basically anything that's a flying type or levitate.
We don't care about it in this game.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to
So this is-
Mauville with Brendan. And now we're going to go up to Mount Chimney after doing some shopping.
Do a lot of shopping here.
Yeah, because since we picked up that comic shard, that's obviously we have a lot of money to be able to buy more repels and our potions to pretty much supply us for like half of the run left. There will be one more time that we shop and pretty much just dump the rest of our money on like full restores and whatnot.
So if you remember that movement before, we're going to do essentially half of it again. But this time, when we get up on that little ledge, we're going to go right. So it's
We're gonna
different.
take the gondola.
Yeah.
You have to dodge that spinner that everybody's hit.
I hate
So
that
the
spinner.
This is the spinner that if you run this game or play this game, you'll realize, oh, spinners in this game are a little bit awkward. It's the spinner that can only look left or right, but he spins counterclockwise. If he sees you north or south as he spins, he'll hit you.
It's terrible.
But he can only look left or right. But gondolas are cool.
Alright, we didn't hit
In fact,
him. We're good.
One of my favorite ski places around here that has like a cool gondola. You have to take it up to the mountain. I love it.
You should play your 3DS this cutscene while you go up that gondola. Just a hole in the mountain.
Yeah, so we're pretty much just tailing Team Aqua all the way up this mountain. Because they stole that meteorite and they're up to no good. We just know it. We just know they're up to no good.
They're a
And
team.
these fights
They're
are
always up
quite
to
a bit
bad.
different from Omega Ruby as well.
Yeah. So this is definitely where Alpha Sapphire has a much easier time than Omega Ruby.
It's still bad, though.
It's still bad, but in the big difference here actually isn't like Numel versus like Sharpedo or Carvana. It's it's Grimer or Coffee. The Alpha Sapphire guys have Grimer, which you can just use Bulldoze on. They do have Disable, which kind of stinks. But the Coffeens have Levitate, so we can't use our... In fact, we have no even neutral effective move for them. We have to use Rock Tomb on the Coffeens in Omega Ruby.
Disable's
And
actually not an issue because we outspeed. Minimizes the problem.
Too. And then and it's actually weird on the team leader fight, they both lead a Mightyena, but Maxie's Mightyena has Intimidate. Archie's does not.
I did not know that. That's annoying.
Yeah. And that's one of those fights where the Golbat is like a range at +2. Not for you.
It is.
Usually.
It is still a range at +2.
Still a range at +2. Well, it's a bit easier for you to set up in Alpha Sapphire because you don't start the fight at -1 attack.
We often get to +4. So yeah.
If this was Alpha Sapphire right now, we'd be still fighting a coughing here while we wait for it to self-destruct.
Yep. Yeah, so Tabitha's coughing, we have to bait into self-destruct because we can't set up on it. It has clear smog.
That's new.
Yeah, that's a bit easier to deal with.
I didn't know that thing had swagger.
Free attack boost, it's fine.
I think that was a speed tie, but I'm not sure. No, I don't think it was actually. I tapped the map.
Yeah, so really best case scenario is that we're equipping one of those person berries because Archie and Maxie's Mightyena loves to use Swagger, which will take the free +2 but then we just have to heal off the confusion. The person berry will do that for us, but usually we need to get Swaggered twice, or at least he will try to do it. And then you're at +4, and you're just like, well, as long as I hit Rock Tomb, the fight is free. Unless you have Etiquette's luck, Etiquette just never gets Swaggered on this fight, and it's actually really annoying to not get Swaggered because it's so much more efficient to get the +2 boost than it is to just keep pumping in X attacks.
Yeah, it feels bad taking time to equip a person berry that serves no purpose.
Plus, depending on what your stats are, you sometimes skip getting one of the X attacks to instead like get a different, like an X speed or an X special attack to make up for some bad stats. And if in the case that happens, and you don't get Swaggered, you just lose.
Yeah.
All right, I dodged. Please do it again. Okay, cool.
Nice.
That's actually pretty ideal.
Yeah, and it's actually not just
didn't kill.
attack. We have to set up speed on this fight as well.
Fortunately, didn't go for Swagger that turn or anything. But
I'd rather it did Swagger. I'll just hit the range.
Yeah, just hit the range.
Yeah. 13/16.
Oh, and a 15 and a 95% accuracy move.
When you put it like that, you almost make it sound too easy.
there you go.
There you go. That was a really, really good Archie one.
Well, admin.
Yeah, that's about as good as it can go.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he's the leader, not the admin. Admin's
Yeah. Admins are Matt and Shelly.
Matt. That's the one I was thinking of.
Or as I like to call her, Ho and Nessa. Not as good as
The admin's
regular
version of
Nessa,
Pinch
though.
Chain. Not as good as Nessa, true. You get the meteorite back, finally. Even though they've already done everything that they need with it, so it doesn't really serve a
And
purpose
now
anymore.
Maxie's like, hi, I'm here again.
I'm here. I'm salty.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll leave. But yeah, hopefully we don't have to see these guys for a while.
Yeah.
Hopefully. No? I guess we will. Okay. In
I'm
round
sure
two-
there will be nothing that will threaten the safety of the world in the next hour or so.
Yeah, couldn't be.
I think I just gave the soft sand, right? I didn't screw that up?
No problem.
Yeah, you did soft sand.
Okay. I'm always afraid that I like be out of that. This route's my favorite route. We just hit down and hold it.
Yeah, the lady may just pass near the entrance of the gondola station. Also gives out free heals, which we do take in a Mega Ruby.
It actually allows us to save a Lepa berry in that
Yeah.
situation, so we think that's faster to take that free heal instead of do the time to, pick the berries off a tree, because it is a little bit longer than like a normal item pickup. And another difference in town is that in Alpha Sapphire, you skip picking up Swords Dance. There's a guy that's just like the karate guy. Is just like, do you love to dance? And you're like, no. And he's like, that's a shame. Here, learn how to dance. And he gives you sword stance.
That was bad.
It's really funny that you have to say no to get the.
Jim is a massive health hazard.
We don't get Swords Dance because Kyogre is a special attacker, and so we really don't care about our attack combat stages.
Yeah. May, I love that you take the ninja kids like so seriously. Like you're as far away as possible.
Look, I know I don't have to do it that scared, but I'm afraid. Okay, this is how I've always done it. I'm too afraid to change it now.
So yeah, so the little bubbles in the water, those are the ninja kids. They usually have like 3 coughing, and as mentioned, Marshtomp just can't deal with coughing because of levitate.
Do they have coughing in this game?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's super annoying. In fact, if you get hit by one of those trainers, your best course of action is to use an X attack. So it's really important that like
Your best course of action is to reset.
Yeah, that's true.
What is my special attack
Flurry
again?
is
Really good.
Yourself usually fine, but at your special attack.
It's still a 96.5% range.
Oh, okay.
So
you must have your IVs must be very
It's
good.
29 to 31, yeah.
Okay, that definitely makes up for it.
Yeah, this Kip is actually good, even though we did die to Hideki 3 times, which just kind of shows how bad Hideki is. It doesn't matter how good your Mudkip is. Hideki just decides if you live or die.
Yeah, so obviously this is like the last fight that we use a special attacking move. So we'll use the 95% accuracy mud shot on the Torkoal. I've had a very bad special attacking Marshtomp once where not only did I miss the range, sometimes you use Rock Smash in the middle to like cover the extra damage. It still wasn't enough. I think I triple low rolled and then I was just in a healing loop and lost.
So chat's asking
Shame.
when Swords Dance is good. Swords Dance is a really good move for speedruns because it increases your attack combat stages by 2, which means essentially you double your damage. But what we try to do in speedrun fights is to essentially set up as much as we can on one Pokemon and then sweep the opponent's team. Because if let's say we don't set up and it takes 2 turns to kill everything, that's a lot slower than taking 1 turn to set up and then taking 1 turn to kill everything.
Yeah,
And
and
not speed is an issue. We can always use X speeds to make sure we outspeed stuff, and that's common in setup as well.
yeah, we'll actually see that for like every single Elite Four member, and it's really nice because almost every trainer in the game, except for Norman, I think, will lead one of their weakest Pokemon. They'll save their ace for last. It would be a lot more annoying if their toughest Pokemon was like the first Pokemon we faced. So we will take advantage of, a weaker Pokemon that can't damage us very much to just, use Swords Dance or use X attacks or use X speeds to make sure that we're faster, bulky enough, powerful enough that we can one-shot everything. Because the goal for basically every fight in the game will be to one-shot and outspeed.
Yep.
Because you can't die if you can't take damage.
Yeah, I can explain combat stages again. So the way combat stages work is you can't see them, but your combat stages can range from -6 to +6. And they always start at 0. Every time you get a positive combat stage, that relevant stat goes up by 50%. So when we use Swords Dance, which increases our attack combat stages by 2, it's going to increase our attack by 100%. And then negative combat stages reduce it, not by 50% every time. It's like it's a different formula. It's a bit more complicated.
Yeah, it's just you're dividing by 2 instead of multiplying by 2 for like 2, for example. So it gets a bit complicated.
I don't know why I saved here.
But basically it's just, if we're using Sword Stance, we're doubling our attack. That's pretty much as simple as it goes.
So this is
And we can
this is Norman's gym. It is the other really
It's
terrible
awful.
gym in this game. This gym sucks.
Yeah, so the first fight here is a Delcatty. It has both Attract and Sing. Attract is a very annoying status effect that you can't get rid of unless you swap out, which we can't really do. We don't have any other Pokemon. So ideally you get like a female Mudkip and then you don't even have to worry about it here, but it's not really worth resetting for it because it's only like 12.5% chance to even get that on, and then you have to also get a runnable one. But yeah,
Right.
once you're hit by Attract, you only have a 50% chance of doing the move that you wanted to do on any given turn, and you can't break out of it. So
Actually, by that theory, because this trainer is the accuracy trainer, so she uses an X accuracy at the start of the fight. If you're female, the Delcatty won't go for attract, but will almost automatically go for sing, which will usually hit because of the X accuracy.
Yep.
In this case, we got both because we missed our we missed our attraction hits.
Yeah, there's actually like a little bit of argument over which is actually better. I prefer getting a female Mudkip because attract is really obnoxious.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I'm the opposite. I would just prefer to have male because you're 50% chance to just hit through. Good enough for me.
This is the worst trainer fight in this gym.
Yeah, for sure. Well, besides Dorman, but
so George is awkward. He's the healing trainer, so he has a heal range. So our idea is to try to get him kind of like just in KO range, and then go for it. But the Laloon has Covet, which can steal our soft sand, which we're obviously using for that 20% boost in attack power. So that's kind of annoying.
God damn it. I was really hoping he
There's
wouldn't
the
do
Covet.
that. My attack's so high that I just barely knocked him into heal range there.
Yeah. But you're going to outspeed him now, because if you use Bulldoze twice, that 2-stage reduction makes us faster. So that was honestly about as good as that fight could go. It could have gone like a little bit better, but that's totally fine. Because that's totally a losable fight, especially if he uses Fury Swipes and hits 5 times with a crit, which has happened.
Yep.
You can definitely die to that fight.
This fight looks scary, but it's actually very safe.
Yeah.
This is the one-hit KO room.
You would think that the Zangoose with the automatic critical hit chance would be scary, but it's not.
It cannot kill us.
Yeah, and this is also probably a good time to mention how crits work in this game.
Oh, yeah?
Both for this guy and Norman. Basically, before Gen 6, the way crits worked is that they're 1 in 16 for any move you use to be a critical hit unless it's a high crit chance move, and then it goes up to 1 in 8. And then every crit does double damage. They changed that in this game slightly in Gen 6, so it's still 1 in 16 to happen, but it's only 1.5 times damage. But unfortunately for this next fight, because we use an X defend and this slacking can do so much damage to us, any crit is just gonna kill us pretty much.
Yeah, so a critical hit here is basically a death.
Yeah, this is...
So, and this is also one of the toughest fights in the game.
This is Norman, the bad dad. This fight's really fun because it happens about an hour 20, hour 30 minutes into the run. And if he crits you at certain times, you just lose.
Yep. And we had just mentioned about setting up. Norman has, I think, the most setup that we have to do. We have to set up usually. You might be able to get away with only +3.
I am doing +3, yeah. It's a 98.4% range. I'm just going to go for it.
Okay, yeah. Your attack, but usually you have to go to +4 attack, +1 or 2 speed, and +1 or 2 defense based on our stats. So that's already usually 6 turns of setup on average. And in those 6 turns, even though the slacking has Truant, still gonna get 3 chances to attack us, and if he crits us, we're usually dead. And the last slacking has a move called Retaliate, which is that's the signature move of this gym. Retaliate doubles in damage if the Pokemon before was KO'd. So Slacking 2, the last Slacking, is going to use Retaliate at double damage. And if he crits us, it crits through the X defend. We're automatically dead.
Ow.
And if you're at low defense or low HP stats, he can still high roll and good living that crit, thankfully. He can still high roll and kill you. So
dude,
there's a whole lot. This is really bad.
That is crazy. It's a good thing you have a decent defense.
I've gotten crit 3 times out of 4 attacks in this gym before and lost a run, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah. Thankfully,
God.
Thankfully, you're.
Wow. These are all 1 in 16, by the way.
I actually probably should have not done that. That was a mistake in retrospect.
So basically why this fight is so bad, because we know we're kind of risking getting critical hit. For some reason, everyone gets critical hit way more than 1 in 16.
I don't know what's happening here.
You've been critical hit 4 times in a row.
4 times.
Hey, what is happening?
This is
Actually insane.
this is something.
And it's so hard to set up.
Hey, we did it. We didn't get crit.
Free.
This gym's free, honestly.
Yeah.
At least we didn't get crit when we were already taking some damage, because that just kills us no matter what. But that was really bad. That's a lot of my potions down the drain, and we actually really need those potions for Latios later.
By the way, if you're keeping track in the chat, May just got critical hit 4 times in a row, a 1 in 65,536 chance.
I'm really good at this game. If I get crit here, I don't even know.
Yeah, so that last Slacking, we healed a full. Otherwise, we're dead, always.
And this is the most deadly spot to get crit, so fortunately...
Any situation, if you get crit, you die.
My notes actually say heal the full. No, you cannot survive retaliate. Do not try. Because I have tried to chance it and it does not work.
May, I just want you to know that you got crit 4 times in this fight and didn't die.
That's because I'm a god gamer.
Yeah.
That was real bad. That's not ideal for that fight, but we did live it, so it wasn't the worst, I guess.
Hideki died 3 times.
I'm gonna go on my little rant here. Norman's a bad dad. A, his fight sucks, and B, after you beat him, he's like, I can't believe I got beaten by my own daughter. I'm kind of salty about this.
At least he doesn't pull a Claire and be like, this is impossible, I'm not gonna give you the badge. And then makes you go on the quest to get the badge.
He also has tacky sideburns.
He also does have tacky sideburns.
One question that got asked earlier in chat is why we don't have any water moves. The main reason for that is, one, Mudkip is a physical attacker, and as a result, we don't really get any good physical water moves this early in the game. We get Surf here, which is a really good water move, but unfortunately, at this point, Mudkip serves no purpose outside of using HMs. So we don't really need it that bad. Well, we technically use Surf in this next battle, but it's so minor.
No, we don't. We use Earthquake.
You know, because
Bulldoze.
you're not.
Oh, that's right. Do you?
But so yeah, and then we just don't need Water Gun again. Special attack is not as good on Mudkip. So
plus Water
Gun
only like makes 40 power. We're usually not at high enough happiness to get Water Pledge. When we're in Maulville, so there's just we just don't get good water moves, so we actually can't even take advantage of torrents. But thankfully we don't need to, because Bulldoze is that powerful.
So I'm at a scary low number of potions now. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, you had to use
early shopping.
Well, all you got to do is get through Mount Pyre. And you'll be quote-unquote fine.
Yes, all I have to do is get through Mount Pyre. You say that like it is a easy thing.
Oh, I know.
Mount Pyre sucks in this game.
I know. That's like that is definitely one of the scariest parts of this run is Mount Pyre, which is after the Winona gym. But yeah, we are actually basically through with Mudkip and Marshtomp, because we are going to be gifted a free legendary.
Hooray!
Hooray!
So, a fun thing about Latios. Legendaries in Gen 6 and above are part of the Legendary Egg Group, which means that they have 3 stats that are guaranteed to have max IVs, so 31. But they're not necessarily good 31s. It could go into attack, which we really don't care about. It also has a random nature. So it is possible to get a Latios that is really terrible, and we have to go out of our way to get an extra rare candy to make it runnable. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Good chance it will. This run's been weird.
Oh, I mean, why can't you just talk to this Latios and be like, hey, you want to come with me? Like, we're going to go on an adventure.
Because if I wanted to do that, I would play a game that doesn't hate me.
Yeah. So this is definitely the part of the run that has the most significant difference between the 2 versions. Because it's compounded between using the different Eon legendary and the Magma and Aqua fights are different.
This part is this part's kind of relaxing, I guess, for
Yeah, if you're running Omega Ruby, this part of the run is actually extremely consistent. Like, there's almost nowhere where you can die. Winona's probably the toughest fight in the Omega Ruby side, just because the Swallow has double team, and like Sand Attack, missing moves is kind of sucky.
But there's no rest
pretty much,
in this game.
Yeah,
the
but
stress
pretty much
never stops.
Team Magma is free, because every time we see a Camerupt, we use Surf. The Mighty Yenas are probably the scariest thing, because they can damage us, but they can't even crit. They can't even kill us from full. So it's fine. We just have it's just more annoying to have a bad Latios, because you just end up healing in between fights, but there's not really any big death.
A bad Latios is usually better than a good Latios.
This is true.
This is
Because
Alpha Sapphire. Oh, I didn't get
So Lot
in Omega Ruby, we fight a Coughing and a Camerupt. So Surf is pretty good here, but
it's actually weirdly enough, Marsh Stomp's Surf on the Camerupt in this double fight almost never kills from full unless you have very good special attack, because the Camerupt has the ability that weakens super effective moves, which I forget the name of it. And it's also a double battle, so spread moves are reduced by 25% power.
I did not know that was a thing.
So yeah, so that's why a 4 times effective Surf usually cannot KO the Camerupt in that fight, unless you have very high special attack. It's really awkward. But... Oh, and by the way, that's with Torrent. That Surf with Torrent usually cannot KO.
So this is our new maid.
It's super awkward.
This is Latias, or as some call it, Boger.
yes.
Yay, let's go, Boger.
Kind of mentioning that a lot of the gens have weird quirks, especially pre this gen, in terms of like how double battle damage calculations work. Like Gen 4's is really wonky, for example. But yeah, so Surf isn't as amazing as you would think for that fight.
Plus, you were minus special attack Mudkip anyways. Like that had no business using Surf anyways.
We get Mega Evolutions too. That is now a thing we can do.
There is a
Hooray, Mega Evolution.
There's a Mega Strat that you could do depending on your stats. I've never actually gotten a Latias that works for it.
I was gonna meme ask, like, how many times are we gonna see Mega Evolution in this run, knowing full well that the answer is 0?
If you get a plus special attack, Latias with bad speed, you actually do Mega Evolve.
To cover for speed, okay.
I think you should just Mega Evolve every battle just to make up for being Latios.
Ooh, that sounds fast.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little animation. I say little, it's not really that little. That plays out every time you do a Mega Evolution, but...
And it's actually a longer animation the first time you use it, and against the champion himself.
So we're gonna teach
it
Surf
does like
here,
the full.
And I'm gonna punch in my stats while we do that. Ooh, good attack, great. This is a super mediocre Latias. This is actually a pretty bad Latias, which is fun. This thing sucks.
You got a naughty Latias.
Only this isn't Mudkip.
And then we're going to... So this is a pretty average standard Latias. That is to say, not good. It has 14 to 16 special attack.
By the way, that's the highest possible attack stat. We got a 30. So like we said, we got 3 stats that are 31 IV or max IVs. Those stats are HP, attack, and special defense. AKA, we got none of the 31 stats where we wanted them.
And it's very slow, which is not good.
Yeah, the speed is actually our worst stat, 4 to 6 IV speed.
Oh my god, go into the stupid gap. There we go, thank you. I started doing that instead of waiting for that roamer. And I think it loses me time, but I definitely feel a lot less stressed out about it.
In Omega Ruby, we actually pick up the item that's by there. That's a PP max. In Omega Ruby, we use that on Luster Purge because we want more, but not as useful in this run or in this version.
So
yeah, Latios is signature move is Luster Purge, and Latias gets Mist Ball instead.
Yes. This is the part where they're holding T-Pat's office hostage, and we have to go save T-Pat.
This is the Weather Institute. And as my username suggests, the WX stands for weather. I'm a professional meteorologist, so...
I made that up. That's not like
This is
normal.
my
acronym.
home. This is my home away from home in Hoenn. Now say that 5 times fast.
Why is Team Aqua here again?
I don't remember.
Are they trying to steal cast form, or is it they just
they're-
want like weather stuff?
I think they want weather stuff because this is where we get a bit of a plot dump. We mash through all the text here, but essentially after we get rid of I think Shelly's up here.
Shelly is up
the
here,
scientists. Scientists are like, wow, we discovered have all these books about primal revision. Doesn't that sound really interesting? And there's these 2 super ancient Pokemon that can do it. I wonder if we'll ever see them.
Probably not.
Some kind of calamity in the near future. I don't know what these Aqua and Magma nerds were doing up here, but like...
I'm gonna use my regular potions here, because I need to conserve them. And then we're gonna save, because this fight can go badly. It's usually okay, but this, again, is not a good Latias.
Yeah. Too bad Primal Revision is slow. Okay, so I made the joke about we don't see Mega Evolution. We do see Primal Revision in this run, and Omega Ruby as well. I know we do it once in Omega Ruby, but May will probably know a bit more how many times we do that later on in the run.
We do what?
Primal Revision.
There's one fight where you could do it.
I think it's the same fight too.
Okay, it's very good that I hit that range, because otherwise I probably have to switch to Marsh Tomp and take the bed heal. Which I might take anyways, just to save a potion here.
In Omega Ruby, that's just camera up, so you just one-shot it with Surf. And then
Excuse you, I've had a Latios so bad I didn't one-shot it.
We call those Latiases.
Yeah. Yeah. A bad Latias, or a bad Latios is a Latias, a bad Latias is a reset.
So they give us cast form for saving them, which is kind of weird, in my opinion. It's kind of like, hey, thank you for saving us, have a cat. Like, you have to take care of this Pokemon now. It feels like,
That's why they mentioned Primal too.
Now, do you do this? May? Because we get the cast form, but more importantly, that cast form's holding a Mystic Water.
yes, we do that.
And yeah, so in both versions, we actually are just like, hey, cast form's cool, but the Mystic Water, now that I'm actually going to use.
Not going to do it here yet, because we don't need the menu here.
Also, this is the next rival fight, Rival 3, and since we just got this fresh new legendary Pokemon, we can kind of bully him a bit. The next time,
the next one sucks.
The next rival fight is actually quite a bit scarier, even than I would even say than Rival 2.
Rival 4 is the
actually
worst rival fight for sure.
It's bad. Yeah. And did we mention specifically the nature of our rival and how I know I mentioned that picking the character changes it, but I don't think it's that specific.
I think we've glossed over that, but it's the whole, especially Rival 2 is the whole reason why we pick the girl and have the boy have the Grovyle, because Pokemon Trainer May and Pokemon Trainer Brendan are actually 2 different trainers. They have the same Pokemon, but the natures of their Pokemon are different. Most importantly, the Grovyle in the previous rival fight is Rash nature. It's minus special defense. And in that fight, we're using Echoed Voice, our special attacking move. It's way easier to defeat him when he has the minus special defense nature. May, I don't know what her nature is, but it's not minus defense, so...
I'm pretty sure that we picked May because everyone in PSR loves me.
That too.
Pretty sure that's the reason.
In fact, number 1, we love corvimae. Number 2, it's an easier rival to fight.
Exactly.
In that order.
If we pick Brendan, May is less characters to battle, so I think that's why
well,
we should go back to Brendan.
it is 8 characters per frame. in the 3DS games, which is actually why we usually don't nickname any of the Pokemon, because a one nickname character or a one character name versus like a 6 character name is honestly identical, because it's 8 characters per frame. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Oh, by the way, so like the Trico, Grovyle, and Sceptile that we fight, they all have different natures in each rival battle.
Yeah,
like
Pokemon does this like all the time.
Those are different Pokemon.
It's so weird.
And they have different IVs too. I think the rival 2 fight has higher IVs than the rival 3 fight. So he just has brand new Pokemon every time.
I just dumped a bunch of data from White 2 and saw the exact same thing. If it was a later game, we could just say they used a mint. If it was Gen 8.
Yeah, in Gen 8. But not here. He just has completely different Pokemon. Well, to be fair, in Gen 8, Nessa's ace has like a Gigantamax form in like the second fight, so it's like you can't switch like the nature or like the Gmax form.
True.
Once you, so there's still a bit of mystery going on there.
So this is the part where Steven gives us the Devon scope, which lets us see invisible things, which I think is kind of just Kecleon. Which we need that in order to get into the gym, because there's a invisible Kecleon blocking the way. So we go there, we run away from it, and we run back to the gym. There's another slight difference coming up from Omega Ruby, is that we're going to grab Grass Knot behind the gym, because we really take advantage of the fact that Grass Knot is a grass type move that uses special attack, because there are a lot of water types that we fight against Team Aqua, believe it or not, and we need to do as much damage as we can.
Yeah,
how did you know there was a Kecleon blocking the gym? How did you know to just go to Steven? Are you cheating?
I've actually played this game before.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought that was... I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. This is my second playthrough.
You just deleted your save? That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
I thought she was gonna play it twice, because she has the other Mudkip ready.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, you're right.
I have 2 copies of the game.
You're right.
Guys, did you know, in terms of the Kecleon, there's a hidden Kecleon in the Lava Ridge Spa's girls' room? Like, in the middle of the water.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
That's not in Gen 3, right?
I don't know if I don't know if it's in Gen 3 or not. But there's basically random, like, invisible Kecleon. They're usually just, like, blocking certain paths so you can't access them before, like, this point. But there's just a random Kecleon in the middle of the spa, in the girls' room in Lava.
Kecleon is canceled.
Yeah.
Like Kecleon anymore? Unless it's the ones in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Those ones are okay.
Please, can we get hashtag Kecleon is over party trending?
Kecleon, you're dead. Like, they move at Gen 3 Mach Bike speed.
So, my favorite part about this fight is that Swellow here is just intense. Look at how much it's bristling in the wind as it just, like, glides in place.
This Swallow is actually quite threatening. It has Aerial Ace, and it will outspeed us, because our speed is actually quite bad.
It's not too bad on
it also has
this game, because Latias is really tanky.
True, but
I
it does
have
have
gotten
double
crit again,
team.
so I am going to heal, though, because it does have quick attack. And I got +3, right? Pretty sure I did.
Yeah, you're at +3.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but again, another difference is that since Latias's special attack is lower, you have to set up the +3 special attack in this fight.
Not always.
In Omega Ruby. Yeah, not always, but in Omega Ruby, you often only have to go +2.
If you're at 22 or IV or higher, and a plus special attack nature, it's a nice 13 and 16 range.
Oh,
in the best natures you could be and have almost max special attack, and yeah, it's fine.
In Omega Ruby, if you're 18 IV neutral, you're just +2, and it's automatic. And that's how much of a difference it is. Like, you need the plus nature, and it's still not even guaranteed. Versus a Latios, which can be just really average and be like totally fine.
Yeah, what is like the equivalent Latios to Latios? Like a neutral 31 IV Latios is the same as like a 0 IV Latios or something.
Pull up the grid because you prompted the question.
But that's Winona. As long as you get through Swallow, it's usually not too bad.
Yeah, like unless you're going for the ranges, which you have to have really good stats for, it's extremely reliable once you get through Swallow. Oh my god, I didn't bonk on the side there.
Are you gonna do more shopping or anything before Mount Pyre?
No, I have 4. I think I have 4 potions left, or 3. It should be okay.
Cool. Are you gonna get the extra rare candy?
No. My special attack isn't low enough to justify it. So this is another movement section.
At least you're not minus special attack.
In my opinion,
that's really important.
This is the most fun movement section.
Oh yeah, one of the things we didn't mention too that's unique to these remakes is in the original games you can't bike through tall grass, which like what May is biking through right now. In this game you can. I don't know why, but it makes it very, very fast.
So the route right here, we usually pick up Persim Berries and Omega Ruby, but we just don't have enough for that for this route.
Get a little free heal here, which is really nice because May's gonna need it before this next section.
This is literally a perfect spot for a free heal.
Yeah, it's so good.
In the original Gen 3 games, normally what you would do here is you actually go to Lily Cove first in order to just get the fly point, but we're actually gonna get there for free later and we don't have to worry about anything. And we go through spooky Mount Pyre.
Ooh.
Not all the trainers in here, fortunately. They all have either short vision or there's ways around all of them.
There's there's a set path through the tombstones.
This is the part that isn't as spooky thematically, but spooky in terms of speedrun dying.
Yeah, this part's really rough. On
very much for this version.
Yeah, for this version. I didn't really need to save before the first fight, but I'm just gonna do it to be safe.
That's smart.
Thankfully, if we die at this point, it's not as devastating because we do have access to fly now. And
it's
unlike
pretty
some of
bad.
It's still bad, but it's not as devastating as like the early game when you would have to just like bike or like try to figure out where to go and where not to.
That was a 3 and 16 range.
Very nice.
Well done.
That's good. I don't have to heal. Thought we should be good for sure in terms of potions. We could still lose. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but so like for example, if we died here, we could just fly right back to the base of Mount Pyre. We'd still have to run up through the the spooky tower again, but it does throw off our like repel a little bit, and it is tight at this point. We're like on our last max repel that we're using because we just keep them up through the whole run. Because after I think it's the mat fight up here. After that, we're gonna do our final shop of the game, and we get more max repel. So it would be pretty tight. In that case, we might get extra encounters, but I believe in you, May. These Mighty Hyenas are gonna be nice. They're definitely not going to
they're being mean.
Kill you.
They're being very mean. I have to hit hero or I die. And I have to kill. Do I outspeed?
Okay.
We're fine. They
Right,
decided
sure.
to be weird.
Okay.
I know in Omega Ruby this Mighty Hyena has quick feet. I don't know if it does in this game. But in Omega Ruby, if you Dragon Breath and paralyze it, then it outspeeds you because that's what the ability does. And it's very scary if that happens.
I have 1 potion left, so I cannot use it in this next fight. I did not want to talk to him. I wanted to save. So yeah, that's why this part really sucks, as you can see there. Especially when we use up 6 potions because we get crit 4 times in a row on Bad Dad.
Fortunately, May does have a safety revive, and she actually has extra Pokemon now. So if things go really badly, she at least has an extra chance.
We're actually going to use Marshtomp in the next fight because we're so slow. Oh, good dodge. That helps a lot, actually. Okay.
Aha! By the way, I found the chart, everybody. This is how different Latios and Latias is.
Okay.
The best possible special attacking Latias. So if it's plus special attack, has 31 IV, would be the equivalent of a Latios with 17 to 19 IV neutral. So a super mediocre Latios is the equivalent of the best possible Latias.
Fun.
It's a big, big difference.
So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put Marshtomp in the first slot. And the reason we're gonna do that is because we're gonna use Bulldoze to lower the speed. And then we're going to switch to back to Latias. So that means we'll then outspeed it. And we should be able to kill it with one Grass Knot. And otherwise it has I think Ice Fang. And Ice Fang just destroys us, and since it outspeeds us, we could really only survive one Ice Fang. There's like no way we survive two, even if we had really good defensive stats. But it'll try to use Slash on the Mudkip because I don't know, it just does. And so because we'll then outspeed it, we'll be able to get our attack off, and we should be okay.
Mega Ruby use Surf one time, then we win.
Yeah.
That's why this part's really bad in this game.
Good, you can survive a crit too.
Alright, so we're still Ice Fanged us. As long as we don't get frozen, we should be okay. And we win.
Yay.
Yay.
It always throws me off like Grass Knot is a contact move, because it's a special attack move, you just don't think it is, and then you always take damage like that.
That is kind of strange. I didn't think that a special
Like,
move could...
What is a Grass Knot? What does that mean when you use Grass? Like, what does your Pokemon do?
I have no idea.
Just-
I try
I
not
always
to think
imagine-
about it.
I always
should have
imagine-
animations back on just so we can find out.
I imagine it like trips up the opponent, like it grabs like their feet and like they fall over, because the heavier the Pokemon is, the more damage they take.
Right, yeah.
So like a Wailord just gets obliterated by Grass Knot.
I think that's basically what the Gen 8 animation looks like.
It knots with grass, obviously.
So we got
You just can't Grass Knot a Dynamax Pokemon either, that's weird.
So we get the red orb
Yeah.
here, which doesn't really do anything in this game, but I guess it lets us calm down Kyogre. Oh my god, how did I mistap that? Lets us calm down Kyogre, which is going to be important for later, for plot reasons. We're going to teach Fly, the only physical move we teach to Latias.
Latias is naughty, so it is plus attack.
Oh, our Flies are going to do a ton of damage.
You use it on Rival 4, don't
We
you?
do, yes. You all laugh, but our Flies are going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Like there is actually an advantage to having good attack, but only in this version.
So now we're going to fly back to Slateport, do a little bit of shopping, and then we're going to do the next plot thing, which is where Team Aqua is going to try to steal the submarine that we helped fix earlier.
Oh yeah, that thing. That we had to do the whole like, oh, they stole these parts, but then we returned these parts, and then they told us to deliver these parts, and I guess they made a submarine with those parts. We're doing our final shop here, so a few more X speeds, more X special attacks, but most importantly, we're grabbing a guard spec,
Oh my god.
which is going to come in handy much, much later.
I'm going to buy
Like, buy a lot.
more hypers, just to be safe. Somebody want to
This
explain
is
what a
the
guard
last-
spec does?
Yeah, so a guard spec, so it will protect your entire team for 5 moves. I think it's 4 or 5, from getting their stats lowered. And we had mentioned about like, stat stages. So like if somebody tried to use, say, Leer and drop our defense, it would fail. Most importantly, Archie's Mightyena loves to use Scary Face, which drops our speed. And it's really important that we're not slower than the other Pokemon he has. So we will guard spec turn 1. He'll still spam Scary Face because he's stupid.
Well,
and the guard spec will protect us. There is like a 5% chance he does something else, which I
is
think
it
we'll
5%?
I've seen it maybe once.
I get
in
embargoed
the
so much.
I think you might have worse luck than I have there.
But
But
I've seen it 2 or 3 times.
I've been
I
embargoed
think
twice on one run before. I lost like 4
but yeah.
minutes.
yeah, it's one of those. So the final Archie fight is one of those scary fights where it's like, if nothing goes wrong, you will sweep their team. If it goes wrong, it will go wrong badly.
Yep.
Like very quickly. So, but we'll probably explain that as we get closer to that fight, because we got a different scary fight coming up, and it's not these grunts for once. The ace grunts, as they call themselves.
Really? That's embarrassing.
Yeah, one of them's just like, how could you defeat like the top ace?
Oh yeah, I
grunt
love
in
that.
Team Rocket?
They all like rank themselves. Please kill. This is not okay. I got taunted. Good. This is the problem with a bad special attack.
Yeah, so a lot of
Latias,
these-
is this
yeah,
whole section
yeah, a lot
just
of these-
super scary?
Yeah, a lot of the mighty Enas are just like tanky enough that you might not be able to two-shot them. Did you equip Mystic Water?
No.
'Cause that looked
No, I did not.
that looked, yeah, it looked like you did not very much damage for that.
That's why That's why these are being really bad.
Yeah.
Good call. I will do that right after this. Thank you.
Next time, right?
It's time save.
Time save for next time. But after these grunt battles, we're actually coming up to another very hard fight, the final rival fight of the game. Well, quote unquote final. Rival 4 is definitely going to be like our scariest fight because he's got a fully evolved Septile now. And the Septile knows a dragon type move called Dual Chop.
That was a 4/16 range, by the way.
Very good.
These like I can one shot Golbats and that's it.
Yeah, so Rival's dual chopping Grovyle is going to be a problem. He also has agility. So if he uses agility, he's going to outspeed us, and then he could just dual chop, not 1-hit KO us, but 2-hit KO us. And it just gets a little tricky. You could be in a heal loop. Thankfully, Rival's AI is not smart enough yet to always go for the super effective hit. He hasn't been spending enough time with Hop. So he still has random AI, so he might just use like Slam, or he does have Detect, which is annoying, but thankfully safe. But being able to navigate that is going to be tricky. May, do you also have to X speed for the Swallow in that fight because of your speed?
I sure do.
And then I'm guessing +2 special attack.
Just +1.
Just +1?
Yep.
Okay.
Not that bad. So yeah, I was supposed to equip the Mystic Water earlier. I completely forgot to do that. That's
So
why a lot
that's
of
why
those
that-
surfs were doing a very good amount of damage.
Yeah, that 20% boost is very much like necessary. Thankfully, didn't die.
Yeah, the trick is just to not get punished. So this fight can go really badly. Specifically, if Septile uses Detect on Fly, we could get kind of caught in a loop.
Yeah. The Fly Detect. And obviously that wastes even more time in a run because it's a 2-turn move.
You could lose a lot of time on this fight.
Yeah. This is probably this isn't necessarily the scariest fight like in terms of dying in the run, but it's definitely one of the trolliest.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you can easily lose like 30 seconds or even like a minute or more like in a bad rival fight.
This is now a very scary amount of health too for the Septile.
Yeah, you're close to dual chop range.
I might just die here. It'll be fine though. So hopefully he doesn't.
Hey, at least
hopefully
lock
use Detect turn 1. That makes this a lot better.
Nice.
We're
Yeah,
going to
so
die to
I'm-
dual chop. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's the point of saving. Plus you're a little low on
we're just
the
gonna
healing item.
Switch to cast form. Wait. Oh my god. That's not
Oh,
what I
no.
wanted to do.
And of course now he slams.
That's what I wanted to do.
There's also a weird effect in this game where, like, if you try to use an item that has no effect on your Pokemon,
You just waste
it doesn't use the item, but you waste the turn.
It's really dumb. Oh, please. Could you not?
Well, not. Why?
Thank you. Our cast form was trying to be a trooper, but... This is still pretty scary, I won't lie.
Yeah.
This is a range on Wailord.
Is it because you're not set up anymore?
Exactly.
The Wailord doesn't have big attacking moves though. Like
Yeah.
Water's probably the scariest thing because it can confuse. I've almost died to that before.
It's fine, we killed it anyways.
Confused. I was like, what?
I don't actually know if the range of the notes is actually
Smallest
correct
Wailord
for
ever.
+0 Grass Knot because it has a question mark after it. That's Brendan 4. You can see that it could very easily just kind of become a mess, especially if you revive a Pokemon that's alive, like me.
Also, did you know this, guys? Because I've learned this doing Wonder Trade races. If you pick the boy, May will ask you 2 prompts in that fight. One before the fight, one after the fight. Brendan only asks you 1 prompt.
Yeah, don't pick Brendan.
So it's again faster because of the rival fight to pick the girl.
Don't pick Brendan. Always pick May.
Exactly.
That's like my whole motto.
So this is the Team Aqua hideout. In Omega Ruby, this is just the Team Magma hideout. It slightly looks different, and they're also a completely flipped layout too.
It's actually
Which
really
is-
disorienting if you're used to one game.
Yeah, it's a little funky, but May knows. how to
Oh,
get
I
through
ran
this,
into
it'll be
him.
fun.
All right, we're fighting him. Haven't done that
Honestly,
before.
not getting an until now is pretty good.
I don't even know what he has.
So this is unintended optional, unfortunately. You'll
I'll
be
have to use the XP, so it might be okay here.
The only real worry here is PP. That's why I could use Mist Ball or one shot that, but I'm just worried
Yeah,
about
we're
PP
kinda-
usage.
Yeah, we're kind of tight on using our psychic type move because there are certain poison types that we really need to use that on, and I think there's exactly 5 of them. So we kind of want to be at 5 and not use extra.
So that was a intentional trick I did to get a free $1,400.
How many more times are you going shopping in this run?
Never.
Well, now you can because you can afford it now.
Exactly.
It's like
There-
almost a revive.
There is a safety strat where once you get to the Pokemon League, there is a mart in there. So if you're really low on like full restores or like want an extra revive, you can
Yeah.
just shop when you get there.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was one of the battles we needed to use a Mist Ball on.
We don't get any more free heals until, well, for the rest of our time using Latias. So we really gotta be pretty careful about our PP usage here.
I don't think there's any free heals.
For the rest of the game, yeah. There aren't.
Yeah.
They give you like a ton at the beginning, and then they're just kind of like, all right, you're on your own now.
Yep.
So this part, we're gonna go do a puzzle and talk to a tree.
Yeah, the trainer layout in this Team Aqua version is very strange. You do more spinner passes here than in Team Magma.
Do you?
I don't. Yeah, you don't do any spinner passes in Team Magma. Well, you won, but
That sounds nice.
the big room where you ran into one, you can like walk in a certain way in the Team Magma version where you don't even pass their visions.
So we're gonna talk to this tree. It's gonna pick up the Master Ball in the corner.
This is weirder. I don't like this.
What? This is way
So-
better. You don't have to like aim. You just talk to the tree.
Yep. So, yeah, that's so much nicer in this version to pick up the Master Ball, which we'll probably be using later. in Omega Ruby, those 4 Pokeballs, as I say air quotes through Twitch chat, those 4 Pokeballs are all in the corner with the Master Ball in like the far corner. So you usually have to pick up a nugget, which is diagonal to it, and then stand on that tile, actually aim diagonally to pick up the Master Ball, because those other 2 Pokeballs, well, they're actually not Pokeballs. They're upside down Pokeballs, and they're Pokemon. They're Electrode, and they're very fast and very explodey.
So you can't really run away from them reliably, and it can cause you great pain.
They could outright kill you.
Alright, so there was the move that we don't want to see later called Embargo. Basically means you can't use any items for a few turns while or after it's used. Fortunately, it doesn't matter here, but it will matter significantly later.
We get to do another spinner pass here. And then we get to do the most exciting fight of the game, which is the Team Aqua Quintuple. Which, here's a little math problem for those at home. I have a level 36 Latias with Surf, and they have 5 level 18, I think it's level 18, Puchienas. Who wins this fight?
Who wins this fight? Well, the game has to calculate it too.
Yeah, there's a lot of math that's going on behind the scene here. Level 18.
I think it's. I'm gonna say, you know, loose calculation here. Maybe somewhere around like 99.6% chance to.
It's like that meme that's like, who would win? 1 trillion lions versus the sun.
You didn't get any crits though.
I did not get any crits.
It would tell you if you got crits.
They're like, did you cheat? That's like, no, I didn't cheat.
Can I say this about in Omega Ruby? It's not this horde fight, but there's actually a second one in the round 2 version. You're a level 55 Groudon versus 5 level 25 Mightyenas, but they all have Intimidate. So your Groudon's at -5 attack using Earthquake, a spread move which only does 75% damage. How do you think that fight goes?
The same.
It's not quite. If you have a bad attack Groudon, you actually are only like, it's somewhere between like 75 to 80% depending on how bad. The worst possible is like 31%, which I think is like a 5 and 16 range.
So we have a 6 and 16 chance of just one-shotting the Sharpedo. It's possible we die here. It's okay. We just finished the fight with Marshtomp, but...
Hey, Etchy, in Omega Ruby, how does this fight go?
Okay, we're fine. Etchy?
Well, he might be playing with Pupper. I was asking.
My dog is distracting me, but yes.
I was asking Etchy, how does this fight go in Omega Ruby?
Oh, you use Surf.
That seems to be the trend in that game.
Yeah.
Surf is OP.
Surf is a good move. It's 90 powered.
Hey, Etchy, could you just tell us about your pupper? I think everybody wants to hear about your pupper and how cute he is.
I have a dog. It's like a Poochyena, basically.
It's like, what if a Poochyena was real and didn't know swagger?
Yeah. Except he's really needy, so it is what it is. His name is Shiro.
Wait, you mean he doesn't know so he can't confuse you? Are you sure?
He doesn't know Sand Attack either.
I canceled my repel. I need that.
Yeah, one of the things with this game, and it was introduced in Gen 5, was that you can actually just keep your repels going without going to your menu every time, like in Gen 4 or lower. So it's pretty nice, and that's the whole reason why I buy enough max repels. And just to like never have to go back to menu for it because it's just slower.
But if you're holding down, it's actually very easy to accidentally hit B or turn them off. That's not a trainer. I don't know why I freaked out for that guy. So now we're gonna go to Moss Deep, and we're gonna fight Tate and Liza, or as they're called in this game, Liza and Tate.
Yeah, why did they make them backwards?
I don't know.
It seems like a decision that didn't need to be made.
Because Game Freak's in the pocket of Big Liza. We don't have to fight any traders here unless I screw up. So hopefully we don't, because
There's one better pass, but Otherwise, you can just stay out of the vision of everybody else.
And I've hit this trainer like a billion times back when I was learning. And that trainer sucks.
Yeah, you gotta pass her twice.
If you haven't played Gen 3, the gimmick of Tate and Liza is that they're a double battle gym.
Oh, this fight is so much better than in the original.
Oh, it's really bad in Emerald.
So most Pokemon speedrunners, or like if you've watched Pokemon speedrunning enough, you know that the Gen 3 Tate and Liza fight is the worst fight in all of Pokemon speedrunning. This is much, much better, and
this fight's free.
Point is, yeah, in fact, it is basically free, because A, we have a legendary, huzzah. 2, most importantly, is that in Gen 3, if you were using like not a potion, but like an X item, you could only use it on the Pokemon whose like turn that was. But here we can take advantage of Marshtomp uses the X special attack on Latias to give Latias the boost, and it happens, and items happen before moves. So we take advantage of that quite significantly. And plus, Latias and Latios are faster than the Solrock and the Lunatone, so we don't have to deal with like speed ties or being outsped or none of that. This is just so much better than just X speed and adapt. So yeah, this will be a very easy fight. It's essentially click Surf with Latias and use an X special attack on Latias.
And we thank Marshtomp for helping us out by brutally murdering him.
And it's actually important that Marshtomp is KO'd on this fight. It is actually disadvantageous for Marshtomp to live through this fight.
And that'll come up later.
Yeah. We haven't addressed it, but we've dodged double fights by just not having 2 Pokemon in our party. We can still dodge double fights if we only have 1 Pokemon alive.
This is still
they just won't activate.
This is still a thing in Gen 8. Like, they never got rid of this. Unless the double fight is like required to progress the game. You could just, if you have 1 Pokemon in your party, you just don't have to fight doubles. You just walk right past them. It's very convenient. So,
yeah.
Up next in the plot, there's a big old explosion. A big pillar of light's gonna come out from the ground.
Might want to investigate that.
Yeah.
Typical Pokemon fashion. After the 7th gym badge, it lays down a lot of the plot on us.
Steven's here. People are freaking out. This is like the whole town's here. All 6 people. My favorite part is these 2 people who are like, wow, that was crazy. A big beam of light came out. Let's just keep hanging out here.
They do say, let's get out of here, but I'm sure... Oh no, they do just hang out there.
Also, that was the most broken text box of the game. Because our name is too short, the game doesn't know what to do. So the little speech bubble part is just sticking out from the edge. I think it's very funny.
It's really funny because you're named exclamation point. So when somebody exclaims our name, it's just 2 exclamation points.
Steven's gonna give us dive here. Steven's gonna give us dive here. Turns out Steven just has a house here in Mosti.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know why.
Beautiful area. Got a rocket here.
Yeah, it's nice here.
It's like Rocket Town in Final Fantasy VII. No? Anybody? No? Okay.
I've played like the first 2 hours of the remake. Actually, I played more than that. We're gonna teach dive to Marshtomp's dead body.
To complete the process of making Marshtomp our HM friend. Because now he does know, what is it? Rock Smash, Surf, Strength, and Down.
Goodbye, Bulldoze. You served us well. We're going to heal. No. Yes. I'm really glad I bought all those extra hyper potions.
So
is there an explanation for how diving works? Because you like.
So you see that
How do you
there's
not
these
die?
there are these patches of the water that are darker blue, and that means we can dive there. It's deep water, and it pretty much just takes us to a separate map. It's under the sea, so we'll do it right here so we can get into the middle there.
yeah, so think of it like a 2-story
Yeah.
water map. There's the top floor and the basement floor, and we use dive to access the basement floor.
Yeah, and you don't even need scuba gear. You can just breathe underwater.
No, he gives us scuba gear.
We're
No, but you don't see it right here.
Yeah, we don't see it, but he does give it to us.
wearing it, but we're never looking forward when we use it.
Oh,
God,
oh, this
Edgy,
is like
come on.
it's just another like gameplay thing where like we can't see our Pokemon wearing the silk scarf, but our opponents can. So everyone else can see us wearing the scuba gear.
This is one of my least favorite traders in the game to pass.
Yeah, so this is a spinner, and he's not quite on like that wall, so you can pass him like a tile down, but he's really awkward to like stop before. Sometimes if you want to play it safe, you can get off the bike and like D-pad up to him to make sure that like you don't bike into his vision, because the movement's a little bit tight. There's a lot of one tile gaps, and the bike is a bit awkward trying to get through those one tile gaps.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have the little current puzzle, more strength puzzle boulders. They're like a little weird.
This is a required trader.
Yeah, can't dodge him. By the way, it is always faster to like go up to the trainer and talk to them instead of getting the explanation point, them walking up to you. Obviously, that's faster. That's every Pokemon game from Red until I think Gen 8. I think Gen 8 just they always do it then, and they don't walk up anymore.
Doesn't Gen 7 have some of that too?
Maybe I haven't really played.
Let's
Gen
Go
7.
doesn't.
Maybe we can.
But I thought Usum does.
Yeah, Sun Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. They just look at you. They don't walk to you. It's nice.
Alright, cool, I got a heal. So the fight, we're gonna do a little puzzle after this, and the fight after this is one of my least favorite fights of the entire game. It is Archie 2. And the reason for that is we have to do a lot of setup. And Archie has a move called, I'm gonna have to buy more fuller stores later, called Embargo. And what Embargo does is it makes so we can't use items. And we need those items.
And we need those items to win the fight. So essentially, if you're not like resetting, if he uses Embargo, like you're done, like the run's over, because we don't have enough miss balls to be able to clutch out the rest of the fight. And it's just super annoying that he has a Crobat, which is obviously very fast, that can outspeed us if we're not fast enough, which I believe we are in this case, or are not in this case. So it's just obviously super bad. But we use the guard spec is more important for us than setting up because of the scary face that he can use. And again, like 90+% of the time, he will literally spam scary face even though we're protected by the guard spec, giving us free setup. Like he won't attack us even. But if he uses Embargo, that's very bad.
There's Stone Kyogre.
Yeah, he'll just keep spamming. Normally, just keep spamming Scary Face over and over and over again because he really wants to lower our speed. He doesn't really understand how guard spec works. So his AI is just trying to keep lowering our speed. I think
there's actually a lot of bad AI in this game that we just take advantage of.
I think he might Embargo based on how bad, like, if you have really bad speed, he doesn't need to, is my thought, but I don't really have any proof of that.
Yeah, I think he just will randomly every once in a while.
It could be that too, yeah.
I'll just keep seeing Scary Face over and over until May is done setting up.
Very good.
I still have to do 3 of these. I can get away. I can get away with 2. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. In fact, if he embargoes on like the last turn of our setup, we're usually fine because that last turn is to just one-shot this Mightyena.
That is
we'll just have to.
It's a very Omega Ruby thing to say. I have gotten away with it, but it was because I had a really, really good Latias that run. there are a lot of instances where if you get like one X special off, it's it's really really iffy.
But yeah, this is how the fight should go every single time.
And this is the last fight we're going to do with Latias.
Hooray!
Yay, the nightmare's over.
Now we get our Mega Man-T.
I did realize that you don't risk a speed tie on the Crobat because it has Mist, which is the move that negates all your stat boosts.
Yes.
So it's like, we're not going to risk that.
So that went well. That was a really good Archie too.
Yep, that's how it should go. You should not take damage in that fight.
Now it's just a bunch of plot for a bit. Archie's gonna wake up Kyogre and return the world back to the way that is best for Pokemon. Turns out this is actually a pretty bad idea, as Kyogre is just gonna flood the entire Earth. And here's a fun thing that makes actually I think this the better game to run is that there are 2 different songs that play. One, depending on which version you have, after this next section. There's like an actual music that plays for Kyogre, and there's this like 8-second loop of twinkly noises for...
Yeah, it's a bit like, remember the Screech TM in a CD player? That's basically the Groudon music of this next part.
It's so obnoxious.
It's just... It's like the Lavender Town music, but worse, like way worse.
We get a pretty cool song for Kyogre.
Though I do think the world would be like a bit more on edge in the Omega Ruby version, because I always play in the night palette. So after Groudon gets awakened, like the sun comes back out in the middle of the night, and everyone's just like, "What is going on?" And it's like, yeah, the sun's shining in the middle of the night. What's happening?
Yeah, it's all dark. And it's really funny because Omega Ruby runners, when they watch Alpha Sapphire, are like, oh my god, everything's so dark. How do you see? And Alpha Sapphire runners, when they watch Omega Ruby, go, oh my god, everything's so bright. How do you see?
Oh yeah, I misspoke. I meant Haze, not Mist. Haze is super trolly.
So now Archie learns that maybe this was a bad idea. Max is just like, you're dumb. And now, because we're the protagonist, we have to go save everything.
Yeah. I don't know what Steven was doing. He was just like, not around for this. He had to go do some gym, whatever, something, autographs, I don't know.
Max is gonna like give us a little speech that's like, hey, you're just a kid, but please save everything. And then Steven's gonna show up. In my second favorite cutscene of the game, which is when Steven rides in on a little crow model that has like 8 polygons total. I love it.
The generic flight bird.
I love the low poly crow. It's coming up right now. Oh, look how many polygons it has.
A whole new Pokemon. It's not.
I know.
Just a little poly.
Well, he didn't like return the Pokemon, so that could just very well be a wild.
Yeah, Steven's a ranger actually. So now he leaves again. Yeah. He's like, come meet me in Pseudopolis. It's like the only part of the game where somebody tells you to go somewhere and just doesn't bring you with them.
Yeah, usually you're just tailing Team Aqua because like their grunts are loudmouths. They're like, let's go to Mount Chimney, and you're like, I wonder if I should go there too. You're just eavesdropping on Team Aqua the whole time, but Steven actually tells you, hey, go here.
So we're going to Pseudopolis now.
By the way, there's so much plot that we have to do that it usually, between the Archie fight and our next battle, is usually 18 minutes.
Sure is.
Of speedrunning time.
It's just it's a lot of mashing. This is usually the part of the game where my hands really start to hurt.
Yeah. Which makes the cutscenes that are around here all that much more, like, important.
Yeah. So here's
Yeah,
Stephen
it's,
Wallace. Stephen, like,
standard.
he muses a bit. And thinks about the nature of rain. And Wallace is like, you have the red orb. Follow me.
What nature do you think rain is? Is it like
It's
naughty?
Yeah, rain's pretty naughty.
Naughty. I mean, we have only seen naughty Pokemon in this run.
Actually, this rain's pretty adamant.
Oh yeah, we had the adamant. Yeah. It's definitely not modest.
It's not modest, for sure.
At least that Wallace guy was like wearing a hat, so his hair is dry.
So yeah, they give you the Aqua Suit, which is what we're going to use to ride Kyogre later in what is the cutest cutscene in all of Pokemon.
Yo, boulders. I mean, it is. I will say, riding the Kyogre through the ocean depths seems way more fun than just jumping on the back of Groudon as he like trudges through the lava.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. It seems very, very stressful. This whole section is a pretty big, it all seems pretty rough, but
I love how you're like at the bottom of the cave and like Maxie gets on like the walkie-talkie with you and he's just like, you know what you gotta do? Jump on the back of Groudon.
Get
do
up
it
on
now.
the Groudon's back.
You're just like, why? It seems really dangerous. He's like, no, you got the blue orb and the magma seat. You're fine.
Oh yeah, Brendan's here too. He's just like, hey, you're my best friend. You're way better at me than this. Goodness. All right, have fun.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything to help you at all, ever.
For moral support.
I do like that Brendan's just like, wow, you are better than me at being a trainer.
This whole movement section is a little annoying because we're going to go down a lot of stairs. And the way hit detection works in this game means you're going to bonk into the stairs a lot of the time.
Oh my god, like that.
Yeah.
Thank you for demonstrating.
No problem.
Unintentional.
Corners are really unforgiving in this game. It looks like you have like a little bit of give, but they're very hard edges.
So this game is interesting in that it runs on a tile system. But if you use the D-pad, you can free move. It's based on the XY engine, which works pretty similarly. But that means, like, because it's still tiles, sometimes when it seems like you should be able to go down somewhere, it's actually still the neighboring tile. But we don't want to use the D-pad because our repels actually last a lot longer with the circle pad.
Yeah, because we're just cutting it at the angle that the shortest path angle by using the circle pad than we would be using the D-pad. But yeah, we'll bonk on corners because you have to like be the full tile clear of that corner. You cannot cut it even at like a fraction of a tile.
Yeah, otherwise it'll just magnetize you to that corner, and then you're just stuck there.
It is weird that you don't like slide off of corners very easily in this game. Like, yeah, you just get stuck on them.
I will say the Team Aqua scuba outfit here looks way cooler than the Team Magma one.
This whole part's great. So we're gonna get up on the Kyogre's back, and it's so cute. Look how small Kyogre is. Oh, it's adorable.
Is this the a whole new world scene? Like under the water instead of in the air.
This is Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Under the sea.
Under the sea, okay.
Or it could be part of your world.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
If pretty much every time we get to this cutscene of my stream, I just like freak out because it's so cute.
Even this part's way cooler. Dang.
Yeah, this game's good, except for it's actually a nightmare. And everyone, just if you ever get to the secret, like inside center of the Earth core, ancient Pokemon lair, make sure you take off your protective suit.
Yeah, your cutscenes can't handle it if you have a different uniform on, so you need to ditch that.
So now we're gonna catch
100%
Kyogre.
Happy to have the game.
Good thing,
They don't want to
it's a
animate.
really good thing that I remembered how to catch because Wally taught me earlier, or else this could be rough.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you skipped all those wild Pokemon. You would probably just run from this one if he didn't teach you how to catch.
Exactly, I wouldn't know what to do.
Also, it seems a lot less threatening when it's just like water everywhere for you to take off your suit. I mean, in Omega Ruby, there's like it's just you're in the middle of the volcano.
Oh,
There
it's
is lava
extremely
everywhere.
questionable in Omega Ruby. I wholeheartedly agree.
If like you like full on ditch it, you probably just throw it in the lava.
Unfortunately, this Kyogre is shiny locked. Can't be shiny.
You cannot be shiny, yeah. If you want your shiny Kyogre, you gotta do Dynamax Adventures.
The pink Kyogre.
Shiny Kyogre is awesome.
I don't know what shiny primal Kyogre looks like though.
Neither do I.
I'm sure the internet knows.
There's no way it's pink because primal Groudon shiny looks different.
Alright,
to
so
normal Groudon.
we just outskilled Kyogre. Hopefully this Kyogre is good. Similarly to Latios, it has 331 IVs for sure. And we just hope that
It's just less damning if you have bad stats than the Latias does.
what was the name of my first Pokemon again? Team.
Bogar? No, that was the Latias.
What was it? Hold on, it's in Discord. Bogart. So we're gonna call this one Bogart 2. That hopefully that makes up for me forgetting to name it earlier. So this is just a 2.5 minute cutscene. We literally don't do anything. This is when I usually go get a drink of water.
This is the bathroom break.
I can't go to the bathroom that quickly. Who do you think I am, Etchy?
I mean, I was trying to hold you to his standard, you know, because Edgy is great, and May is great. That's why we picked the girl.
It's true.
This cutscene looks better in Alpha Sapphire than it does in Omega Ruby.
I don't mind this cutscene when I actually am here to watch it and not just getting water.
There's also another really long cutscene in the any percent category. It's called Watching the Credits.
Yes. So this is actually something. Well, I guess we can just talk about this now because we have 3 minutes. In any percent, there's a bonus Rival 5 fight that occurs after 9.5 minutes of credits, and because that fight doesn't matter if we actually lose it intentionally because it's faster, but because it is part of official timing, so we have to watch the 9.5 minutes of credits and then do that fight before time ends. We're not going to do that today because it's not interesting.
Yeah, it's AFK for 9.5 minutes.
Yeah.
The only reason why it is still in the timing is because the game technically says the end after that fight. Not in the initial credits, but after that epilogue fight.
This is a very hotly debated thing.
It's very a weird decision on Game Freak's part.
Yeah.
But they did that in the other Gen 6 in XY too, right? There's like a fight you can die to at the end.
Yeah, but at least you don't have to sit through 10 minutes of credits for that one.
Yeah, I don't know why they. Whatever. I'm gonna rant about it if I talk about it more.
Plus, that fight is so awkward. You don't gain experience, you don't gain money, you don't gain effort values. It's literally just a novelty fight. But yeah, I guess it's a Gen 6 thing. You just lose to the last fight of the game before you split.
So
we do all this good work to try to not die, and then we just die.
This is the part where Archie's like, my bad. And everyone's like, oh, you lovable scamp. And Maxie's just like, hey, thank you for being the only person here who isn't stupid.
Yeah, the Gen 7 Moon has, you run from the Tapu fight.
Yeah, they really like doing this for the 3DS games. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, Gen 7 is not a game, it's just a movie. It's just one big interactive cutscene. is Gen 7 Pokemon.
Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, directed by Hideo Kojima.
Honestly, this scene that we're going through right now is like the best time to like debate these highly contested subjects because there are no prompts. You're just button mashing. It takes a long time.
About how good your legendary is.
So this game does have a cool thing that we just got called the Eon Flute, which lets us fly to any route. Which we will take advantage of once.
Do you take advantage of that?
Yeah, we just fly back to Route 126.
You can't just do regular fly?
I don't think so. Can you?
Regular fly is faster.
Can
You can regular fly 26.
I thought you had to have the Eon Flute to do that. Alright, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can just regular fly. In the All Megastones run, you use the Eon Flute because we get a Sky Encounter.
Alright, so we have 108 attack. That's a 31. We have 95 defense. We have 153 special attack. That's good. We have 135 special defense. We have 99 speed.
That's great.
Is good.
Yeah. So the most important stats is obviously special attack and speed. If our speed is high enough, which I believe it is, we can outspeed the Frostlasses in the E4, which is important. You said 153 special attack?
Yeah, this is a good Kyogre.
99 speed. Yeah, you're good. You're good. This is great.
Pretty bad menuing, but.
And explain the moves that you just used.
I taught Surf, which is really good. You know.
Yep.
And I taught Calm Mind, which is a move that raises our special attack and special defense by 1 stage.